gas masks and hand grenades. Gas masks and hand grenades. Gas masks and hand grenades. Gas masks and hand grenades.
Welcome to Gas Masks and Hand Grenades. I'm your host, Jeff, and tonight I'm joined by an esteemed panel of luminaries in electronic music, correct? Am I correct, gang? I can tell this is going to be a great one with Haughm tonight. He's Mr. fucking excitement over here.
I played 2 shows last night.
He wasn't going to join us, then he was going to join us, then he wasn't going to join us, and he is joining us, and we're all happy he's here. But he had a night last night. You want to tell everybody what you were doing last night?
Yeah,
and actually all week, basically.
Well, I played 2 shows last night. So I played a solo set opening for Agalock, and then I played an Agalock, and now I'm tired.
You're tired. I don't blame you. You're old. That's the problem, man. You're old.
Well, I know that you wouldn't understand that, Jeff, but
I wouldn't.
Old.
Yes, I wouldn't understand that. Of course not. Yeah, man. So how did the show go for both? Any feel? Was it sold out?
It was close. I think there was about 1,000 people there.
Nice.
Yeah. It was me solo, Dry Wedding from Portland and an Agalock. And it was a really good lineup. It just flowed really well, aesthetically and musically, and it was a really good night. And yeah, people were into it. Even my solo stuff got a great response. I did have a kind of a Spinal Tap moment at the very beginning.
Oh yeah,
because I ran a reel, a 5-minute reel of old timey ads with Scott Joplin music playing.
Okay,
to kind of set the mood.
Right.
The whole 1800s thing. And that was supposed to go seamlessly into my backing tracks that would start the show.
Right.
Except, for some reason, VLC did this last night. It hadn't done this anytime I practiced it, but it in between the switch to the videos, mm-hmm. There was it paused and there was a message saying, would you like to continue? So it totally took us out of the old timey aesthetic for a second.
Yeah.
Some guy in the audience yelled, "Somebody's pressed the space bar." That was kind of weird.
I was 2 years ago at Decibel Fest down in Philly. Tumult was playing, and they had a backdrop, and suddenly the blue error screen came up and played through 3/4 of their fucking set. And Derek's like,
yeah,
I saw that.
I saw that happen with Godflesh at Bloodstock. Yeah. Halfway, because they had these amazing visuals, and then it just went blue, and there was this thing bouncing
around the error thing, right?
Yeah.
Right. At least it wasn't the pinwheel of death, which would have been the end, right? But
I think that would have worked fine with Godflesh.
No, I mean for you.
Oh, for me, yeah.
So yeah, because you do a lot of backing track stuff that you're playing to. So
well, yeah,
it's just that. Are you
just
playing
the rhythm?
What? Are you doing in ears for that?
Yeah.
I was going to say you probably have to, right?
It just makes it easier. I don't always do it, but since I was using in-ears for Agalock, I just had my setup there, so I just did it for both. I did that in Australia too.
I didn't know you guys did in-ears in Agalock.
Only I do.
For those people that don't know, John is the singer and one of the founding member of Agalock out of Portland. Yeah. 5 albums, which I'm glad you brought that up because I'm going to brag a little bit.
The book.
On your work, but I'm going to brag a little bit. So this is the just recently released, I think, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, something like that. Yeah. Agalock's 3rd album, Ashes Against the Grain, which they did a full performance of last night. But I was lucky enough to see them do this. And that, am I wrong in saying this? But that's the first time you've ever done it was LA and San Francisco, the full album? Yeah. So I was lucky enough to go out to the San Francisco show back in May. Been sick ever since. I think it was because I was around John Haughm. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't guarantee it, but I'm thinking that's what it was. But John was kind enough and cool enough. I won't show the card, John. I'll leave the card out. He sent me a love letter. It was a kind love letter. Let's just say that. But anyways, last year I guess it was right. It was last July. John asked me to contribute to the booklet inside, and there is your boy, and wrote a nice little piece for it, and that was very cool of him to do. And the next one is Marrow, right?
Mhm.
When is that for next year or?
It'll probably be next year.
Did you get the vinyls?
The vinyl, not yet. I still haven't gotten them.
Shit.
It's funny because Chris Green was at the show last night, the guy who played drums on that album on Ashes.
Oh, was he really?
So I was talking, after the show, we were talking to fans, and people would come up to me to have me sign that book, and I was like, this guy played on that album, and they're like, really? So I was
Did
like,
anybody get him to sign it?
yes to all of them.
Did
Yeah,
anybody did it? Yeah.
Yeah, it's been for him, it's like the first time in like 20 years that he's like signed that album. So,
And also, John sent me along with that. He sent me. This is from the last album, the Serpent in the Sphere, right? What's the track name? Alpha. Alpha.
I think it's Alpha Serpentis, right?
Yeah, very cool. Number 23 of 500. Thank you, John. And this is really cool, man, because I don't think this is easily findable, right? The Pelorian single.
It's pretty easily findable in my closet.
Well,
in a box.
There you go. Well, send me all those so I can sell them on discounts, right? But anyway, so so John's got that going. I will link everything in the description. I've been very not well the last 2-3 weeks, 2 months really actually, and I completely that whiffed on me to add everybody in. Plus, I wasn't sure John was going to join, so we're glad to have him. So let's get moving. Lewis, you have anything you want to pimp? You got any pimping going on?
No, not really.
No pimping. All right. And Melinda doesn't do the social media thing too much. So, but Melinda, can I talk about your music real quick?
Okay.
Okay. I heard a lot of trepidation there.
Depends what you're going to say about it.
Well, it sucks. I'm just saying.
I knew that.
Melinda is a solo artist herself. You got to say the name of the project because I always fucking forget it. The Slow Fall Inward? No.
Yeah, the Slow Fall Inward.
Slow Fall Inward. And she sent me 3. They're not demos. I mean, well, I guess they're kind of demos, I guess.
They're demos.
Yeah. Albums. And man, there is such amazing stuff there. John, you've heard a track or two of hers. She's very talented. Very talented. She needs to get this stuff out. Put it out on
Thank you.
Bandcamp. So. But yeah, so there you go. There's that. Me, there's just I'm an international pop star. Like, you know what I'm saying. So,
maybe the hair.
Well, my hair, and you know what? At the Crowbar show Friday night, I interviewed Kirk Winstein, which by the way, I'm gonna put that up, but I think I need to do a little editing. There's one part in there that's a little weird that. It's not weird. It's just it would be a little probably uncomfortable for Kirk to have everybody know that publicly. So I got to do a little bit of editing, and I'm terrible at fucking editing and don't know what I'm doing. So I'm going to try to figure that out this week. But great interview with Kirk Winstein, and we're going to do it again at some point in the future with Kenny Hickey, actually, from Type O, which is pretty cool because I love Type O. But because they have a project called Sun Don't Shine that's about to put an album out, Kirk and Kenny and Johnny from Type O. But his wife kept saying, your hair is so beautiful. You have the most beautiful hair. She's like, can I touch it? I'm like, sure. I'm like, yeah, all right. I'm like, but the funny thing is that I get that a lot, but most of the women are like considerably older than me that say it to me. So, beggars can't be choosers, right? You got to do what you can do. So, anyway, all right, well, let's get started on this. And what I think I'm going to do, we'll switch up the look here to that. And we'll start with Melinda. How about we get going with you? Give us your first album.
My first pick was called Atomos by A Winged Victory for the Sullen. And it was
You didn't pull physical?
I don't have a physical copy of 3 of my picks.
You didn't tell me that. Did you?
I did tell you that.
All right,
I did.
okay.
Yeah.
All right. That's why you sent me the playlist.
Yes,
All right, now I get it. All right, we usually
it's
show
okay.
film. I didn't realize that. But go ahead. All right, so go ahead.
Yeah. So, Atomos by A Winged Victory for the Sullen. It came out in 2014. A Winged Victory for the Sullen is two guys. It's a guy named Adam Wiltsey, and he's also in Stars of the Lid, which is also known for ambient music.
Sure is.
And Dustin O'Halloran, who is known for his film and TV scoring. The album was actually commissioned by a choreographer named Wayne McGregor, and he did like a contemporary dance piece to it. It's been described as creating an emotional architecture of sound. I found it to be really expansive and vast, and there's these beautiful spaces of creating tension and resolution. The album would be considered like classical ambient, and it has strings, piano, electric guitar washes, modular synths, disembodied voices, which I always love,
Yeah,
and
you do.
harp.
You're big
Some
on-
of it's structured, some of it's more drone like. And it's actually kind of a concept album because there's recurring themes that happen through the whole thing where it goes back to passages that you've heard before, but in a slightly different way. And I absolutely love the string parts on it. It sounds amazing. And it's excellent music to meditate to, or if you have to do a task where you want music in the background and you can't focus on the music, it's really good for that. Or maybe even like curling up with a book on a rainy day. I think if you like Sigur Rós, you will like this album.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
That's
I
a
would say
band
like,
visit. I need to revisit them. It's been a long time.
yeah, for sure. They're awesome. There's 11 tracks on it and they're all really good. I think probably my favorite is the first track on it because it's about 10 minutes long. It's a little over 10 minutes. And it kind of goes through an overview of everything that you hear on the album. So you get like a little snippet of everything that's to come. So it's really good. It's really well done. I like it a lot.
How'd you come in? Oh, we didn't get into how we got into electronic music. So pop that. I'm sitting. I'm not being disrespectful. I'm not listening to you. I realized when you said the date that was released, I didn't put any dates down for my albums, and I kind of like to have that info. So I'm multitasking while I'm listening to you. I swear I am.
That's okay. So I'm supposed to say how I got into electronic music. Is that
where
what you
you
want?
came in? Yeah, where you came into that.
Electronic
genre.
music or this album?
The genre. Electronic.
Okay.
Yeah. What was your
Okay.
first experience with it?
I don't even know. You know, I would have been a kid. I would have probably been like 14, and I have no idea. So it would have been like the early 80s.
So, but do you remember? You don't remember what the album was, or what the like that?
No,
Okay.
I really don't.
Because you're hearing it on TV as a kid all the time. You're hearing electronic stuff going on around you, obviously. But like the old horror movies, or not the horror movies, the sci-fi movies of the 50s and 60s used the theremin a lot and the weird, spooky sort of, electronic stuff. I just was curious that I was thinking more in line of like a project or a band type thing that, whether it's krautrock, whether it was Kraftwerk or that kind of thing. But you don't really specifically remember that, huh?
It could have been Kraftwerk. I just don't know.
Okay. All right. Cool. Louis?
Well, I'm the only one here who's old enough to have picked Walter Carlos's Switched on Back record when it came out in like 68.
Right.
And if I had known I was going to ask this question was going to be asked, I would have found my Eastside Digital reissue copy of it, which is on some drawer down here. But after that, I kind of laid low. Then there was Free Panino's records, No Pussyfooting and Evening Star. Then a lot of the Brian Eno discrete music, the whole ambient series was huge. And I was very close to the Ostrich Tentacles in the mid 1990s when they did their first US tours. And their spin-off project, Eat Static, was a huge influence too.
Oh yeah, I got some Eat Static, man. I got a lot of Osrics too. I think they just dropped a crazy ass box set too, or something like that, like 40 discs or something insane.
Yeah,
That's a lot of albums.
they have reissued their stuff ad nauseum, kind of like everybody does.
Yep. True. All right. So what's your first pick?
My first pick came in a weird way. It's Biosphere Substrata record,
Love that album.
which I think I actually got turned on to Biosphere because you sent me some Biosphere burns a hell of a long time ago.
Probably that. Is that the one with Man with a Camera on it? The second disc.
That's exactly the one
I
with
love that fucking shit.
man with the movie camera on it. And I actually got hooked onto this album because I am a huge fan of Man with the Movie Camera.
Ah, there you go. How's
a
that?
Siga Vertov classic movie. And I was just thinking when I was putting this together that I had never actually watched this with the Biosphere soundtrack like people used to do with The Wizard of Oz and Dark Side of the Moon, which I have never done either. So that might be a project for this week. And I love all of Georg Jensen's stuff. It's very atmospheric, very psychedelic. At the present time, has to me a huge Cocteau Twins influence too.
Well, I think the early stuff is very glacial, man. It feels very, first of all, the artwork, like for Cirque, that John, are you familiar with Biosphere? I would assume you probably are, right?
I've heard the name. I haven't really.
Dude, you got to check out Cirque and that one that Louis just showed, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I think you totally, and Shenzhou too. Shenzhou's really good. I think I have the one about the moon, Laloon or something, or forget what that was called. But I think I also have a Pete Nam look. That's all. Say that 5 times in a row, man. Pete Nam look album with Georg Jensen. But Georg Jensen is he Norwegian or Swedish?
I think Swedish.
Yeah, you sound like you're away with that name.
Let's just say he's Scandinavian, and that way we all get it right.
There we go. We got it. So I think I came in with Cirque, and I'm 99% sure. Get ready. I'm going to say a name that John Haugham's going to go, ugh, to. Steven Wilson. So Steven Wilson probably got me into that. You want to join the interview I'm doing with Steven, John? Coming up?
No, I don't.
Okay. Oh, shit. Can you guys still hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just hit I got something going on with my connection with my computer. Anyway, I think I got in with Cirque, which I believe was his second or third album. Second album, I believe. And yeah, he's one of my favorites too. Although I have not kept up in the last 10 years, maybe, because when I look at my dark ambient collection of music, it's pretty extensive, and I'm like, do I really need another glacial droney album? But the cool thing about Biosphere, which is Georg Jensen, is that it's so evocative, and he uses a lot of found sound, and he puts a lot of not effects, but like pastiches, things like you do, John, with Nomad somewhat. With you'll interject some dialogue-y things or some old, wax cylinder type stuff or something like that, and he'll pull that in and mix it into music, and it's just complete head music, man. I mean, this is some of the best, right, Louis? Would you agree?
Right up there.
Just great headphone music, man. Just or whatever your drug of choice is, to just kick back. You don't even need drugs, but you just to kick back and shut the lights off, or just have a cool whatever, one of these space things that shoot the galactic stuff on your ceiling or whatever. Just stand back, lay back, and just melt into it, right?
Well, prepping for this, I listened to this at our lake house last weekend. Dark at night on a beautiful night, and it was wonderful. It's great for that.
Yeah, one of my favorites.
Great chill out record.
I don't know why I haven't pulled that. It's kind of been like I'm going through stuff I have, and I'm like, oh, I want to talk about that. I want to talk about that, but you can't talk about everything. So, all right, John Haughm, what do you got first, sir?
Well, didn't you want to ask how I got into?
Yes, I did, and my scatterbrain. Sorry.
I mean, I think the first thing I heard that was technically within the genre would have been the intro that's on Mayhem's Death Crush, which is Konrad Schlitzler. Is that who it is?
Schnitzler.
Oh, Schnitzler.
Yeah.
Schnitzler, yeah. He did an intro for Death Crush, and it's kind of like, you know, in that genre. But I guess the first thing that really kind of blew my mind was in 1990, I bought a compilation tape called the Pathological Compilation, and I bought it because it had unreleased tracks from Carcass and Napalm Death and Godflesh on it. But a band that was on this comp also was Coil, and the song was Contains a Disclaimer, and that was my favorite thing on the tape. I was just mystified of how that kind of music could be made. And I mean, that particular song is more techno-y Coil than it is the more ambient stuff, but that was where I really kind of got the attention with that kind of music. And then that led to like discovering stuff like In the Nursery, which was more, you know, neoclassical kind of stuff. I mean, I'm wearing the shirt, so and that kind of, you know, took me on the path to discover more of the ambient stuff. But yeah, anyway, my first pick is actually kind of a tribute to my friend Matthias Grasso, who unfortunately passed away last week. And
wait, is that who you texted me about?
Yes.
Oh fuck, dude! I didn't know that's who you were. I thought you were talking about a guy from Halloween, that Matthias, whatever that dude's name was. I had so much going on. Isn't there a Marcus Grasso in that band? Or
yeah. I think the bass player's name.
That's what I thought you were talking about. I'm like, okay.
No.
So he's your friend. Shit, dude. I'm sorry.
He was my friend, and I collaborated with him.
Right, you did a project.
I did 3 albums with him, and he actually did a collaboration with Agalloch too. And you know, it's sad because after Opalus came out in 2020, we kind of fell off a little bit from our communication. And the last time I'd really emailed him was in 2022.
Wow.
And I'd hoped to see him at Prophecy Fest in 2023 because he would always go to that festival, but he didn't that year. And then I was driving around listening to Edgar Froese the other day, and I was thinking, you know, I should drop him a line and see how he's doing, and maybe see if he would like to play a show next year in Europe or something, or do another album together. But this weekend was really crazy for me, so I was like, okay, after this weekend, I'm gonna email him. And then Friday, literally as I was getting ready to go to Agalloch rehearsal, I got an email from a fan. It was like a message from a fan saying, "Hey, I just wanted to send my condolences. I heard about Matthias Grasso's passing," and I was like, "What?"
Yeah, really.
And it just fucked me up.
How old was he?
I think he was 63 or 64.
That's about my age.
But it was an accidental death. He drowned in the Rhine while swimming.
Oh.
And it sucks too, because it's like I've known Matthias since 2008, and I was a fan since '98. And I used to stay at his house in Bad Soden. He had this really cool multi-story house, and we, like, in 2016 when I toured with Division Bleak with my solo project, I ended up going to Germany a week early and stayed with Matthias, and we went and we explored castles along the Rhine, and it was really great. And then Pelorian also stayed at his house once too. And then in 2016, when I was there to actually when I was in Germany to oversee the Pelorian mix, I stayed a couple of days with Matthias as well, and we recorded Opalus that over the course of 2 nights, just live in his studio, just messing around with his equipment and stuff. And so I have lots of really great memories of Matthias. And
oh man, I'm sorry.
I'm shocked.
I'm
shocked.
Yeah, I didn't connect that. I don't know. Now, as soon as you said that, I'm like, wait, that's the guy you texted me about. So I didn't really, and I know, I'm pretty sure you sent me some of the material that you did. Was it a 7-inch, I believe, that you sent me?
No, that was.
No, you sent me a CD.
I sent you a CD.
Yeah,
we did 3 full-length albums together. But
it's cool stuff.
And then, you know, and it's like now I really want, I've got all this material that he gave me in 2016 that's not heard. that I'd love to do something with, but I don't know. I would like to maybe reach out to some of the people who've collaborated with him in the past and see if they'd like to join me in sort of working on an
Tribute.
album together as
Like
a tribute to
tribute,
him.
yeah.
But I need to contact his partner
The
first.
legal stuff. Yeah.
Well, I don't know if it's the legal stuff. It's just a respect thing. It's
Sure.
I haven't had time to really put together a real tribute online or anything. I'm still not in that headspace even today, but I'm going to do that soon. And then, yeah, I don't know. It's
So
just
show the album real quick, then, please.
well, this is one of his like many albums. He did, I think he made over 100 albums.
Holy fuck!
Yeah,
Wow, we're on
he's
Dream level here almost.
he's prolific like Daniel Minchie.
Okay,
But
all
this
right.
was one of my favorites. This one is really, really special.
And the name of the album was.
Deeper Purity.
We're gonna check a song out for that at the end here. And by the way, I forgot to mention that at the end of the thing, at the end of our picks, I'm gonna roll out a track from each one of these albums, then one track that I wanted to play from my honorable mention because I can't find it. So yeah, we'll hear a bit about that. And I don't think I ever done other than the thing that you did with him, which the name escapes me, the one that you sent me. I forget.
Probably Mosaic.
It was Mosaic. Yeah.
What's the cover look like?
Cover has that like trilobite looking sort of thing, like it's not a trilobite, but it's like
Is it like yellow and kind of purplish?
No, it's like a geometric design. It's like black. I think it's black. I'd have to find it. I'm not sure where it's even at right now. It's probably over with the John Haughm stuff, which I had to go to Goodwill. Anyway, moving on. Just kidding. Just kidding. All right, I'll pop in here quick here and do mine. And you mentioned this band, and I was kind of shocked that you didn't pick this one, but you and I have talked about doing something relative to this band forever. We just haven't done it yet. We're going to do sort of a beginner's guide sort of thing, but so this will have to suffice for now because I'm a little uncertain what my future is going to be here on YouTube and going forward in general. So, but talking about Coil, music to play in the dark. There was a music to play in the dark 1 and a music to play in the dark 2. I love both these albums, and Coil is just a very unique kind of band in that, you know, their catalog encompasses so many different genre bending sort of and genre melding sort of sounds. I mean, everything from honestly sort of really warped, fucked up synth pop kind of, and to EDM, IDM mashups, to dark ambient sort of stuff and spectral sort of stuff. And I would kind of put music to play in the dark as kind of an amalgam of a lot of the things they do, with the exception of the synth pop stuff. I mean, this album is, you know, I'll read a little bit of what I wrote because that's kind of how I do this, because it helps me keep my thoughts in order. But let me find it here. Most Coil fans wouldn't likely rate this as high as I tend to do. Not sure why, because it's really killer. Mysterious and brooding, dark and mystical, murderous thoughts abound, psychopathy in song. There's something down that long, dark hallway that you can't see, but you can feel its presence. The atmosphere builds and builds, those red eyes approaching you as the wraith passes you by, as you finally let out that breath you've been holding, as your lungs are about to burst. Then you turn to go, this sound is right behind you. That's what it reminds me of listening to this album. It's one of the more moody and kind of creepy Coil albums. Both of these, they've got just the kind of a, John Balance had just this really unique delivery, very somber at times and very emotive, but yet otherworldly in a lot of ways. And yeah, if you check this Coil out, and I don't know, John, like if you were recommending a starting point, where would you go?
Oof. I mean, that's a good one. I mean, those two albums. Also, I like the
Black Antlers.
No, that's too late. Oh yeah, that's a heavy. I would actually start with one of the compilations they did.
Yeah, that's kind of the best sense to get of
Yeah.
Quill because it gives you a good feel for everything.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly.
I think most people kind of look at love. What's it called? Love over.
Oh, Love Seeker's Domain, which I actually
Yeah.
that's one of my least favorite albums from them.
A lot of people though tend to go that direction with them, but
I prefer Horse Rotivator over
Horse Rotivator, which is what their second.
Technically, yeah, their second,
Yeah.
because Scatology is their first.
Yeah, and that one I've never heard. I've actually not heard.
It's
that
really more industrial.
Yeah, very because that's how they started as an industrial sort of thing, and it's pretty industrial. It's not. I wouldn't go so far as it's throbbing gristle, but it's in that area code.
In the same wheelhouse.
Yeah,
It's a little bit more mellow than Throbbing Gristle.
yeah, it's a little more, just a tiny little bit. But there's Cabaret Voltaire in there. There's just a whole lot of weirdness going on in their early work. But I agree with John, and this is kind of in a weird way. These two albums are kind of like compilations of the things that they do well. You know what I mean?
Another great one are those 4 EPs that they did around that same period. The Equinox.
Oh yeah, what's that called?
Well, there's like the Equinox. It's like the Seasons EPs.
Oh, okay. I don't think I have that one. Did they?
Yeah.
I think they
Put them all together.
They put them on a CD. I do have that. Then I can't think of the name of it. The one track on here that always kind of blows my mind though, and I'll be curious to see what John says about this is the song "Red Queen." Is just so fucking. It's lounge lizard, boozy, film noir weirdness, man. But it's haunted. It just sounds like. And I guess we should mention that John Balance fell to his death. He was a very bad alcoholic at the end of his life, pretty bad alcoholic, and he fell down a staircase, I believe, right?
Yeah, well, Sleazy's dead too.
Yeah, and Sleazy died, about 10 years later something like that. It was two guys mainly with a collective, the people that would kind of come and go and contribute. So, Coil, definitely one. You're not going to hear a track off this tonight, but I would suggest people go check this out. So, all right, Mel, where you at? You up next? Oh, and I forgot to mention real quick, sorry, because my brain is just fucking addled here. I came into electronic music in the 70s, not exactly sure, late 70s probably. I believe it was either Phaedra or Stratosphere, but Jean-Michel Jarre with Oxygen was not far behind in there because that was 76, I believe. So that was my introduction to electronic music. But I kind of remember going back to the old Ray Harryhausen films and the old sci-fi like Forbidden Planet with the theremin and weird spooky sci-fi type stuff. That was always super cool to me. It always appealed to me. So
well, I used a waterphone last night.
You did what?
Stage. I used a waterphone on stage last night.
Cool.
Oh yeah, that's the thing that,
yeah.
Oh yeah. I saw that. Yeah, was that what that was? I thought it was.
Did somebody capture that?
Yeah, there's some footage out there. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, you were beating on the thing and whacking on you're whacking on yourself. I mean, whacking on the Travis team.
On the guitar,
Yeah. So, I'm sure there's. Yeah, I don't remember where I saw it, but I maybe on maybe it was on Instagram, I believe. But, all right, Mel, number 2.
All right. So I picked Gaudi by Robert Rich. This one I do have the physical copy of. Sorry, there's a glare on it.
Is it upside down?
No.
It was upside down.
No, it's not upside down.
It's just backwards.
Oh, it's backwards. You're mirrored. That's why.
Yeah.
Okay. There we go. Wait, is anybody else?
Let's try that again.
There we go. Now we got you. Is anyone
Sorry
else?
for the glare.
Am I mirrored?
I don't know. Can you?
Can't tell.
You read it?
I can't. Does that read right?
I think it's mirrored.
Yeah. Now
I think you are mirrored.
Now you're mirrored, so I gotta flip you around. And Louis, I think you were okay when you showed yours. I believe. Yeah, you were okay.
I think so, yeah.
It just arbitrarily does it. I don't ever know, and I'm always okay, so I don't understand why everybody else flips. But all right, Gaudi.
All right. It came out in 1991, and I would have gotten this album right around the time that it came out. Robert Rich is a pioneer of ambient music, and he's known for playing a lot of interesting instruments besides just synthesizers. And it's kind of ironic that you just mentioned waterphone because he does play waterphone on this album. So yeah, he plays lap steel guitar, bamboo and ceramic flutes, the waterphone, tabla, other hand percussion, and then his analog and digital synths. So this album is really interesting because it is a tribute to Gaudi, who is a Spanish architect or was a Spanish architect. And if you don't know who that is, he built the La Familia Sagrada in Barcelona, which is a very famous building. It's a very famous cathedral. And it has,
church.
yeah, it has a very unique architectural style, and that was pervasive throughout his work.
I didn't realize that was
so-
him. I didn't know that. I know the one.
Yeah.
You talked. Yeah, it's super cool.
Yeah. So this is like a musical tribute to him, and it's like listening to geometry. It's hard to explain unless you hear it, but it's definitely worthwhile to listen to it. It's like an architectural meditation, if that makes sense. Like you can hear the geometry in the music. It's just very cool. And there's parts of it that are very ethereal. There's parts of it that have like a nice rhythmic part to it. And I think of all the tracks, probably my favorite is the second track called Tracery. It's really delicate and it has the tabla in it at the same time. So it's like, it's almost like
Droney.
carved stonework. It's like listening to carved stonework.
Oh, that's an interesting analogy. So it's droney though, right? Because the tabla always kind of has that sort of. Right?
No,
Or
it's a drum.
No, that was the drum. It's
Yeah, I'm thinking of sitar or oud or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it's a really good album. Check it out.
He's got a ton of albums out, right?
He does, but that's one of my favorites.
Cool. All right, Louis, what you got?
Actually, since she spoke, since Melinda talked about one of the pioneers of American electronic music, I chose the other one. This is Steve Roach's "Structure from Silence" from 1984, which is kind of his pioneering works. And Steve Roach is somebody that I was fortunate to see live a couple of times. He's been doing ambient music since the late 70s. Had a very interesting life. He was a former motocross racer who bought a synthesizer and self-taught himself how to play the synthesizer, and has been doing ambient electronic music for more than 40 years, and has a discography that's pages long, and it's very dreamy, ambient, floating, long pieces, kind of fabulous work. And he was kind of an important touchstone in my journey in electronic music, because he was probably the first electronic artist that I had a chance to see live somewhere around the mid 1990s.
Yeah, I
saw him then too.
Did you really?
Yeah, with Vidna Obmana.
With Dirk
Series.
Yeah, which Wilson's played a lot with and made a bunch of albums with. I got into him probably through Wilson, I'm guessing, or maybe you, Louis. I don't really remember. I have 4 or 5 albums. I don't pull them off the shelf nearly as much, but what's really interesting about Steve Roach right now is that late last year, he actually opened for a metal band called Blood Incantation, which John knows those dudes pretty well. I know him a little bit. I've interviewed Isaac, and they're big fucking fans of Tangerine Dream and Jar and all that, synthy goodness. And then they did an album called Time Wave Zero that's, it's good. It's just like Tangerine Dream, but it's an homage probably to them. And but they had Steve open their back. I want to say it was late last October or something around that area, maybe November. They opened a show for him, and then they just did a West Coast run, I think, with Steve Roach, I believe, with Blood Incantation. So imagine that cosmic, whatever you want to say, cosmic death metal with a synthy, dreamy synth guy opening up. That's kind of a wild combo there. So, yeah, John knows those dudes, and yeah, are you you know Roach? I'm assuming.
Yeah, I do. It's funny too because I did it. Agalok did a tour where with Velnias, and at the time, two of the members of Blood Incantation were in Velnias, and
Right.
I think that was a tour where we were like playing in
Paul
between.
and Mars.
No, Paul and the bass player.
Jeff, yeah.
But I think that was the tour where we were like during our changeover, we would play Klaus Schultz.
Oh, really?
Yeah, as our changeover music, and so we had lots of discussions with those guys about that stuff. So yeah.
All right, what's number 2 for you, dude?
Band or a group from Sweden called Anna Shalv Treya.
No, I thought that was a woman. It's not a woman.
No, it's
Oh, okay.
I think it's 3 guys. But yeah, dude, that artwork is amazing.
It's pretty cool. Yeah, I love it.
This came out in
Is that a photo or a painting?
It's a drawing.
It's a drawing. I was going to say that's killer, man.
This came out in 1977, and it was only released on vinyl in a quantity of 500 copies, and it's never been reissued, as far as I know.
Wow.
And there's been a cry to have it reissued on at least on CD, and I don't know why, but they just never have. It's really, really, really special. It's kind of a mixture of like Popo Vu and Klaus Schultz kind of mixed together in this sort of like dark Scandinavian way. Like, you just have to check it out. It's on YouTube.
Say the name again, please.
Anna Shalv Tredje.
Okay.
Yeah.
What I'm gonna do later, probably later tonight or tomorrow, is I will put our choices in probably in a comment. I'll pin a comment. May not happen tonight, depends on how well I feel. But that's a cool one. That's definitely one I'm definitely gonna check out.
Yeah, you would love it because it's like it's everything from like dark ambient to this almost like uplifting kind of almost like guitar structured stuff like what Popol Vuh would do. It's
like Ashraf Temple kind of ish.
Maybe a little bit. I'm sure maybe those guys have heard this.
Yeah.
But I mean, a lot of people haven't heard of this. And those who have are like, where the fuck did you get that record?
Yeah. How did you come across that one?
A friend of mine in Seattle owns a record store, and he hunted it down for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I mean, how'd you know about him? Like, did somebody turn you onto it, or
how did you find out about it? Maybe he told me about it, actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Well, you keep doing this. It's weird, but since you brought up that name, I'm gonna go with this one.
Oh, yeah. That's the album that we played. Yeah, that was the album that we actually played as a changeover music.
Yeah, it's fucking amazing, man. 2 tracks, Floating and Mind Phaser, which is interesting because Mind Phaser, this came out in 1976. I didn't mention, fuck, man, I'm so terribly fucking disorganized in my goddamn head. I'm sorry, I apologize. September 99 was Night Music, by the way. This album came out in April of 76. Klaus Schultz, for those that don't know, or Schultz, I guess is how you would probably say it, probably, right?
Yeah.
Klaus was an original drummer in Tangerine Dream. Left in 1970, was also a founding member, and I did not know this, of Ashraf Temple. I actually did not know that, with Manuel Gottschwing. But struck out very quickly on his own in 71, only stuck around for that first Ashraf album, and released his first solo album, Irrlicht, IRRLICHT, in 1972. This is his 6th album, out in 76, widely felt to be his best overall, but he's got a lot of great ones like Time Wind, and there's so many of them. He just passed away, I think, in 2.
His final album is amazing.
Is it?
Yeah, it's well worth it.
I actually only own this one. I need to get a bunch of it. I've been like threatening to buy a bunch of it and just haven't. But what's interesting is I wonder that track right there, John. What's that bring to mind for you?
What do you Mind
Nothing?
Phaser?
Yeah,
Nothing.
Mind Phaser. Tactical Neural Implant, Frontline Assembly. That's the first track on it, Mind Phaser.
Oh.
I bet that's where they got that from. I'd be shocked if it wasn't. What else do we have here? So, of course, it's all very Tangerine Dreamish, spacey swirling synths, bubbling sequencers, humming and bubbling sequencers. Great music to smoke a doobie to. Just being honest, it's pretty cool if you do that sort of thing. And get your head in the space to lie back and catch a ride to the Horsehead Nebula. Super killer sound space, synthy space jams. I would assume all of you are familiar with Klaus.
Yeah.
You have that one, Louis?
No, I don't.
No.
No.
You're gonna have to
You can't own everything. We only can.
Oh, stop. You can own everything. You
Yeah.
can own everything. Melinda, do you know Klaus Schultz? Is that one you dug
Oh
into?
yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Because that sounds like a Don band big time.
Yeah, Don has a lot of his albums.
Don being your husband. So
Yes.
great guy too. So
Thank
I
you.
should have said you should have him join us, but he's probably working, I'm guessing, right?
I asked him to join us and he said he didn't want to, but he had to go work an event at the shop anyway.
Oh, okay.
We had a sound meditation tonight.
Thanks a lot, Don. Snubbing me, bro. Thanks a lot.
He had to go to the sound meditation.
Oh, there you go. All right. So that's number 2. Number 3, Melinda, you're up. So go for number 3.
All right. My number 3 is called Ephemeris by HUVA Network. I don't know if it's supposed to be Huva or HUVA, which is a collaboration between Magnus Birgersson, who is Solar Fields, and Aes Dana, who is Vincent Villouis from France. And they're both well known in the Sybient and downtempo world. HUVA stands for Humans Under Visual Atmospheres, which is reflective of their focus on immersive cinematic soundscapes. This album definitely blends ambient electronic or chill out.
Here's the album here.
Downtempo. Yeah, because I don't have a physical copy of it. Thank you. Yeah, it came out in 2009. So I tried to get a CD of it, and there's just none to be found.
Yeah, it looks like they self-release pretty much. Looks like it. From what I can tell.
I think it's on the Ultimate label, which is kind of an underground, well-known label.
Yeah.
I think that guy, Vincent Villouis, actually is the owner of that label, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
But probably my favorite track on this album is track number 1, which is called Dissolving Time. That's the first track that I heard by them. Spotify actually served it up to me one day, and I fell in love with it. And I use it a lot to paint to when I'm painting.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
It's a really good album for that. It has a nice pulse to it.
I was gonna say it's got that. Does it have that bass pulse sort of thing going on?
Yeah, it's got a nice pulse to it.
What was the first one that you mentioned? I'm sorry.
The track?
No, the first album that you showed that you didn't have.
Oh, the very first one? It was Atomos by A Winged Victory for the Sullen. ATOMOS by A Winged Victory for the Sullen.
Okay. Oh, here we go. Got it. I'll show that one quick. Do we see that? There we go. There's the artwork for that one. Music duo. Okay, where are they from? Oh, they're on Cranky. Okay, that makes sense.
They live in Europe now, but they were both born in the U.S.
Oh, Brussels, you said. Right. That's how. Oh, and this was the one that you said was kind of reminiscent of
Sigur Rós.
Sigur Rós. Right. Cool.
Just a little. I think if you like Sigur Rós, you'll like that album.
Okay, cool. Sounds good. That sounds like a good one to check out too. And that's all the purpose of this is to turn people on to other things they haven't heard before. So, Louis, number 3.
Number 3 is Carl Craig's more songs about food and revolutionary art. Carl Craig is a second generation Detroit electronic music artist that did two great records in the mid 90s, 1995 and 1996, back to back, this being the second one, and Land Cruising being the first one. And this kind of mixes the hard Detroit techno dance sound of people like under the Underground Resistance Collective with ambient and dub sounds, and is a personal favorite since I picked it up on my first trip and very expensive trip to the Tower Record Store at Lincoln Center in New York City.
Oh man, back when how Tower has returned apparently with an online avenue. I don't know if there's any brick and mortar stores though. I don't think there is.
There's one in Japan.
Is
In
there
Japan.
still? Okay.
Yeah.
Because they had them in L.A. I was in the L.A. one before. Philly one was pretty notorious because it was down on South Street, and you had like multi levels. It was like a huge building, and when they went away, it was like, oh man, because they just had fucking shit that you never found anywhere else.
Yeah, they had one 40 minutes away from me in Ann Arbor, Michigan too.
Yeah. Is it I know a little of the Detroit techno stuff, like obviously Richie Houghton. Is it in that vein or not? Or
It's kind of a little bit in that vein. It's a little bit more hard edge than the Plastic Man Richie
Really?
Houghton stuff. Yeah.
Wow, holy fuck, that's got to be pretty hard then.
Yeah.
Interesting. All right, and you're a big fan of that scene, and you've been to the Detroit. What's it called again?
It's now called the Detroit Electronic Music Festival, and I've been to every one since the first one like 25 years ago.
Damn, you're like fucking old, dude.
I turned 70.
I know. Louis is the best guy to be around when he's drunk. I'm just gonna say he is the most lovable, fun-loving dude ever. You just don't know exactly when he's gonna creep up behind you and scream in your ear. That's the bad part about it.
Yeah.
This shit is great. We had a lot of those days, man. Well, many of those days. Let's put it that way. So, all right, John, what do you got for number 3?
All right, I have one of the most terrifying albums ever recorded.
Uh-oh.
When the Black Death,
Wow.
also known as Svartedauen. This is, I believe, their 4th album from 1992, and it's one guy, Lars Peterson. He actually ended up playing drums in Over for a little while, but
Wow.
I think he was in Holy Toy at one point. Anyway, I really love When, especially the first like 6 albums. After that, he kind of got into really like psychedelic, almost Beatles-esque kind of material.
Really?
Yeah, but his early work is like really like chopped up, sound collage kind of stuff.
Okay.
And this album is basically like if the Black Plague had a soundtrack, and it's really well done. I mean, there's some bone chilling moments on this record.
Are you saying, is it anything like in the vein of like, say, like Nordvarger maybe, or
Nordvarger wishes that could be this scary.
412, something like that? No?
That all that stuff is probably inspired by this.
Okay.
Is it
What
something
year
that's
is that?
easily available?
Actually, the vinyl is was released by Stephen O'Malley's label a few years ago, and actually,
Southern Lord?
not Southern Lord. It's his electronic or his experimental imprint.
I didn't know he had one.
Yeah, and it's oddly really easy to find. I've seen this record 3 times just at record stores.
I might have to look into that then.
But anyway, a lot of the black metal scene were really kind of turned on to When, mainly from this, which is Death in the Blue Lake, which this was actually sampled by Satyricon on their first album.
Shit, no way.
And the intro on Dark Medieval Times
Dark Medieval Times
is actually a part of this
No
piece.
way.
But no, when
is when.
special. Yeah, When.
That is when. Okay. And
Yeah.
what year was that one again? The
Black Death came out in
Yeah.
'92.
Wow, shit. Yeah, that's okay. So that would be way back then. Yeah.
It was, yeah. I mean, it's
Where
like
was- Where was?
what's funny is like when Agalok was on the cover of Decibel magazine, the first time, well, the only time, we have a rule where we don't wear band shirts in our photos, right?
Right.
But I have a When Black Death T-shirt, and I'm like, I'm wearing this fucking shirt. If it's coming on the cover of Decibel magazine, I'm wearing a When shirt. And somebody actually wrote in and said, John wearing a When shirt in that photo was a power move.
So edgelordy, bro.
Not edgelordy, just like
I'm kidding.
super obscure,
Yeah,
reference.
super obscure. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I know a pretty fair bit about weird shit, but that is one that I've never run across. Didn't know the over,
Yeah,
connection.
but yeah, definitely check this out.
What album did he drum on for Over? First one?
I don't know if I think he just played live with them.
William Blake or something?
No, he just played live with them.
Oh,
It was
okay,
like-
all right.
He played live with them in like 2009
Okay.
or 10 that time. But yeah, but he's kind of an older guy. I think he lives like in India now or something.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Speaking of Over, was it my imagination or did they post something on Instagram like it working in the studio recently? Could have swore I saw that.
Oh God, I hope they're doing something different.
I liked the last album. Unlike you said you liked it originally. I guess
I
you kinda
did.
not to get.
I did. I'm getting kind of tired
I'm tired of that vibe too. It's time for them to shake it up a little bit.
I would love it if they made some like really crazy, like glitchy electronic album or something different.
Man, you keep doing this. You keep segueing me, fucker. God damn it! Now I just realized I went looking for 2 albums, and I got so hyper focused on one of them that I didn't pull one of the other ones. So I'm gonna have to show a picture of my next pick, which is speaking of glitchy type stuff. These are one of the OG glitchy dudes or duos, we should say, and they're actually coming to Philadelphia in October. Man,
I saw them. If it's who I think you're talking about, I saw them like 10 years ago in Portland.
no, they're actually playing in October this year.
Oh, they're coming back?
Yeah, they're coming back. They're playing.
Oh, wow. Because I don't know if
It's the first time they've been here in forever.
you're talking about Autechre, right?
Yeah. They're
Yeah.
They're playing Portland on the 7th of October
Really?
at
Huh.
the Holocene.
That's where, no, I didn't see them there. I saw them at Bodies, but yeah, that makes sense.
And they're playing Union Transfer. Fuck, they're playing Union Transfer? That's a
But
big
they're-
ass. That's a big fucking place, dude. That's like 1,400 or something. Yeah, I don't know whether I'll be here for that, but Autechre is a duo. Started in '87. Rob Brown and Sean Booth, Greater Manchester. I'm cheating a little bit off of Wikipedia here. They're one of the best known early acts that were signed to UK electronic label Warp Records, along with like Richard D. James, who maybe people will know is Aphex Twin and Analord, and I don't know, there's a couple other fucking pseudonyms he runs under that I can't even remember anymore. But they do a style of glitchy, sort of weird electronic music that is all computer based, as far as I know. I don't think they've ever.
When I saw them, it was just 2 guys on laptops.
Yeah, basically, which
It was
is
kind of boring.
it's a weird thing to go watch that because it's not like you're getting. They do shit with mixing, obviously, and they mess around with mixing and fading and all that kind of stuff. But it is kind of boring. However, my next guy I'm going to talk about, I would posit is pretty fucking cool, and he basically is working with a laptop and a tape recorder, and you probably know who that is, John. Well, you saw my list, anyways. But yeah, Autechre, and I'm going to show the album that probably my favorite. I have a lot of their stuff, man. I really got into this band at one point in time. Got to admit, I haven't listened to them a lot lately, but do not know how to fucking pronounce this. I always say it's try repete.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. Try Repete.
Try Repete. Came out in '95, November, I think. Yeah, November '95. And my little rundown on this, my little write-up thing is this album sounds like what it might sound like if you flew to a distant solar system where there's an Earth-like planet and you land light years into the future. The planet is completely abandoned, yet there is still machinery of some sorts that you've never seen or have no idea what the purpose for is. Yet it's still humming and bleeding and bleating, not bleeding, bleating and whirring and spinning and making unearthly sounds you can't even really identify or put into words. There's a rhythmic pulsing or heartbeat to this strange alien technological sound. And it's one you can't really comprehend or explain in human language. Ghostly melodies filter through the pulsing and cold alien sonic architecture of this music. But is it even music? I've heard it described as glossy ambient or spastic IDM, which seems a pretty fitting description to the sound, to be honest, as how do you define the undefinable with human words when this really isn't human music. It's created by algorithms and computer software. Except, yeah, there are these two dudes, Sean Booth and Rob Brown, and those two dudes are human, aren't they? So, by the way, this is probably their most accessible album, I would think. John, have you listened to a lot of their stuff?
I like their first maybe 5 or 6 albums. I really like Chiastic Slide.
Yeah, I was going between that one and this one.
Yeah. I also really like Ember a lot.
Amber's great.
And what's the first one? It's like kind of brown cover.
Incunabula
or whatever it's called.
Whatever that is, yeah, that's good.
That album is great. Once they started getting really, really, really just glitchy, it's kind of lost me.
Yeah, like Quaristus and the Gray album. I can't remember the damn name of it. I followed them all the way up to about like 2013. And I was like, do I need more of all this that I already have with Aphex, because I have most Aphex.
Yeah.
Bola, who you mentioned in your first one, Mel, if you remember. I think you mentioned Bola, right? Fayudi.
Yep.
It's although that one, Bola has a lot of melody in it, and Richard D. James stuff can be super harsh and fucking weird like this, or it can have a lot of melody. I think Try Repete has the most melody of all their albums. It's just
that one and Chiastic Slide too.
Yeah, Chiastic Slide. Well, that's the one that came right out after. So, this is it's the later. You nailed it. If you struggle with this album, the later material becomes far more abrasive and obtuse and challenging, and you're probably not going to dig it. I definitely lean towards the earlier part of the catalog, but I do own a lot of that stuff, and I rode with it, and some of it I dig quite a bit,
Yeah, no, I like you lean towards the earlier part of the catalog. They played one of the first electronic music festivals here somewhere.
Oh yeah, I bet.
In 2002 to 2004. Memory, all of those have 25 of them kind of roll into one.
I know for a fact, for me, this was a Steven Wilson suggestion when he was informing a lot of my musical interests, because I dropped a fucking mega ass load of money at Aquarius Records out in San Francisco. Just like, for during that early 2000 period.
Do you remember the time we were shopping with Steven Wilson in Philadelphia?
No. Oh, yeah. But where did we go? I'm trying to remember. Did we go to Tower?
No, it wasn't Tower. It was some small independent store they were doing an in-store at.
Oh, at Relapse. They were playing Relapse. Doing the acoustic thing, yeah. Which that was the first Relapse store was on 4th and 4th. That
wasn't. Relapse was during the Nearfest era. This was after that.
Oh, was after that? Where were they playing?
I believe the TLA.
Yeah, which Relapse was right up the street from.
Okay.
Yeah. I think it was Relapse. I think it had to be. Was that the acoustic session upstairs?
No. That's the time of Nearfest.
Jesus fuck! I don't remember what you're talking about. Anyway, we'll talk about it offline. But
you dropped like $200.
Oh, when Steven and I went shopping in LA at Amoeba, I had this alpha male thing going on in my head where it's like, I got to outspend him, bro. And I fucking spent like $700. and not even thinking about the fact I had to get all the shit back home in the flight from LA. And I bought all those original 12-inch Analords, I think they were. The Analord 12 inches, I believe it was. I sold those things for a fucking mint. Now I wish I had them back, but I needed money after my divorce. And I think I sold them for like $1,200. Last I saw, some of those are going for $1,000 a pop, you know. All right. That was John's choice. No, my choice. So we're back to Melinda. Number 4.
Number four.
We're
I
rolling
don't
along
have a
pretty good.
I don't have
What
a
do you got?
physical copy of this one either. It's called
What is it?
Suyuan by Atrium Carceri.
Oh, yeah, of course, Adrian.
Yeah.
Simon Heath, I believe.
Yes. So it's dark ambient with an industrial edge to it. This album came out in 2008, and it was his 5th album. He released his albums on the Cold Meat Industry label, and
Was
he
that
definitely.
Was that before he started Cyclic Law? Because I think Cyclic Law is him, I believe. I think.
That I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's.
I have no idea. So the way his music is on this album, it's like a soundtrack to a scary movie.
Oh, big time, man.
There's definitely a creep factor, and it's very cinematic. It's kind of like it's got some pulse to it a little bit. Maybe just like a slight element of IDM in there, but definitely industrial, definitely ambient industrial. But I think like this one was different than his earlier works. It kind of went a different direction, and that's one of the reasons why this one stood out to me. And as far as the tracks on it, there's 10 tracks, and I think number 4 is my favorite, called Identity Theft. That one is really cool. It has like a really cool vocal sample in it where it's just very like disembodied voices.
Oh, he does a lot of that stuff, man. Holy shit.
This is like a whole spoken sequence. It's really cool.
Oh, okay, all right. Because I don't think I own this one. I know I own like the first 3 or 4. I think this might be his 5th album, maybe.
It is. It's the 5th, yeah.
Yeah, and you know I know where I got this from directly. John Comiskey, our friend. You know John.
Same.
All of us. Yeah, he turned us on to a lot of this fucking weird shit, man. Like Sephiroth and Trom and Call and Yenpox and all that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Thanks,
also,
John.
yeah, thanks, John. He was on the first one. And I think he might
He
have.
was.
Yeah, I know he pulled one of these. I think he pulled Sheshaboyan or whatever it's called. Because he has these weird names. Like, oh no, he might have showed. Yeah, he probably showed Sheshinboyan or whatever you said, or Cell Block, the first one. But he also did quite a bit of stuff with Camera Height, which I was looking at that, or Cryo Chamber. That's his thing. Cryo Chamber. That's it. Cryo Chamber. And he's done a lot of stuff. But he's even done stuff with like Shub Niggurath, Niggurath, Dagon, Oryx or Onyx, Cthulhu, all kind of stuff. And I'm 99% sure he's the guy that's also involved with, because the original stuff came out on Cold Meat, and then it went to Cryo, which I think is his label. But his name's Simon Heath, but I'm 99% sure. God, I thought he did City's Last Broadcast. I could be wrong about that. You have that one, Mel?
I've heard of it. I don't think I have that one, but the title's familiar.
That one is so fucking killer, man. Anybody that's looking for dark, dank, weird, trippy ambient, man, look on Cyclic Law or Cryo Chamber. Lots of good stuff. And man, I have a bunch of their original pressings on CDs, and I was just out of curiosity digging around on Discogs the other day, and some of that shit's like fucking crazy money. Just like really nuts money, like, you know, $200 for a CD and shit like that. I don't know if they're actually getting that, but that's what they're asking for. So
yeah, that's
cool.
crazy.
That's a good pick. Louis.
one that I think just about everybody knows, Aphex
yeah.
Twin selected
Love it.
Ambient Works Volume 2. And I kind of debated between doing Volume 1 or Volume 2, but I wanted to listen to it before we discussed it. So since there was no turntable at the lake house and my Volume 1 is a vinyl copy, it had to be Volume 2. It's Aphex Twin is a project of Richard D. James, and this is kind of more like an ambient techno record. And to me, about the last Aphex Twin record that I like. Everything after that, he kind of lost me after this.
Yeah, I could see that. That some of it's tough sledding. You know, like Drukes or whatever it's called. Window liquor. I like a lot of that
Window
stuff.
Licker's great.
Yeah, it is great.
That video is awesome.
We've come for you all, or we come for your children, or your no. We've come
I
for
will
your-
eat your soul. Isn't that what he keeps saying?
What's that?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, but I think it's "We've Come for You All," right? Isn't that the name of the song?
Oh no, I think there's an album called that, and it's like a bunch of him on the cover.
Yeah.
Oh wait,
Yeah.
so it's. Are you saying the Window Liquor song is the one where he's saying that?
Where he's saying, "I will eat your soul."
Yeah.
No, that's
Yeah.
Come to Daddy.
That's
Oh,
come
is
to
that
Daddy.
Daddy? Oh,
Yeah.
but that's on the Window Liquor
It is.
album.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I get it, Louis. I totally get that, man. It's tough sledding with some of that stuff. Now I care because you do Richard D. James album, Drugs, whatever you call it. I did not get that Cyro thing that he put out in 2014 because I kind of moved beyond that. But I'm with you, man. Ambient Works 2 is some of it is just so beautiful. It's heartbreaking. It's just so melancholic and yet alien. It just still sounds alien because those sounds don't sound like normal synthesizer. It's not like Rick Wakeman or Steve Roach. It's totally different, that sound, you know. He really achieved Aphex, Richard D. James really achieved kind of a very unique kind of little corner of sound that virtually nobody sounds like and a lot of people copied, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great selection. Any favorite tracks on that one? I love that song, Blue Calyx, I think it's called.
I kind of love the whole thing. It's tough to pick a favorite track.
It's definitely one of those albums that you put on and you veg and you just kind of whatever, you know what I mean? I think it's the one I really like is called. Man, I'm not seeing it in here. Blue Calyx, I think is what it's called. White Blur 1's really great. All of it's killer. And a lot of these tracks are really long, 7, 8, 10 minutes. And they're just these drifting, dreamy sort of headspace things, you know what I mean? Where you just kind of lose yourself in the music.
It's a great record to lose 3 hours of your lives to.
Yeah, 3 hours,
Yeah.
exactly, yeah. That is that much. You know that one, of course, right, John?
Yeah.
That you like that one at all much?
Yeah.
Mr. Excitement again. He's entered the chat.
Well, unfortunately, I have to split, so
You do.
I'm gonna have. Yeah. So I'm gonna have to do my last two together.
Okay.
All right. So my next pick is Arctel Eos. What?
An A5.
Yeah. Well, they've got several albums. This one I really like. This is probably my favorite of the ones. I've got a few of theirs, but it's like Imara 2 and Imara 1.
Okay.
It's a double CD. Really cool dark ambient. They've got a lot of like Eastern European like meditation kind of vibes. Lots of like sitar and bowed things.
Right.
But also there's like disembodied voices and just haunting like percussion, and it's really awesome. It's more like dark ritual kind of music, and live they are really haunting to watch.
Where are they from again?
They're from Finland.
Finland. Okay. Wow.
And
That makes sense. Everything.
yeah, I saw them at Stella Natura in 2012. And okay, you've seen that movie Begotten, right?
Yes.
Okay, you know the beginning scene where he's like cutting himself and he's got the weird thing over his.
Right.
Well, imagine like 4 of those playing like traditional like instruments in candlelight.
Oh wow, in Canada.
Yeah, it was
Ah.
frightening, and yet you couldn't look away from it. It was just so it just put you in a trance. Love this. Love this
thought-
good.
I thought Spectral Voice invented that thing with the candlelight.
Whatever. No. So no, that they've got several albums. I've got most of them, but some of it's hard to get and very limited. But definitely try to find that one, especially. I think you'll do it.
Yeah.
And then my last pick, since I got to go, is one that everyone knows. It's this.
Brian,
I love.
I love that
Yeah,
album.
this is
I got mine too.
Oh. But this one and the Pearl especially are
Except that Harold signed mine.
oh well.
Fuck it. Look at that. He just rode you out of
Really, R.I.P. Harold Budd too.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
that,
I think if you're at all of an Ambient fan, you know he's kind of like maybe the OG, or at least in that vein. Although I would make the argument that the one I'm going to show next is the OG. But
well, and like in First Light and Failing Light, just so gorgeous.
It is.
I could listen to that. That's up there with, I'd almost say, with Newgrass. I mean, I could just listen to that on repeat.
There's a very similar vibe to both of them.
It really, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But you know what's sad as fuck?
Hmm.
I don't own that album.
I have it on CD and vinyl.
I don't own that
Yeah.
album. I don't know why. I need to go
This
out.
is a sign.
I actually don't own any Eno, which is weird as fuck. I don't know. I can't. I think I had a whole bunch like in my cart somewhere, probably Amazon. I hate to say, and something came up, and I was like, "Fuck, I can't get this right now," and I never circled back. So now you just probably both. You just cost me some money. So
Good. Get the Pearl while you're at it too.
yeah, I think I had that one in there, and Tiger Mountain was one of them too. Taking Tiger Mountain. I can't remember the other ones, but
Yeah.
all right, so we're gonna play John's song, but after we wrap ours,
Yeah.
so I'll mention that. And anything you got coming up you want to discuss?
Me?
Yeah, any promo for future? Like we said, the Ashes Against the Grain. What are these called, dude? Books? What are they called?
They're like, yeah, they're
Digibooks, kind of.
yeah, they're hardcover books that have
What-
CDs in them.
What's the size on these though? Because I said 10-inch, but that's not. It's like 8.
Yeah, I think they're 8.
It looks they're not a 7 because your 7's
No.
right here, so it's probably it is an 8-inch book. So which makes it unique and a pain in the ass to put on the shelf. But I don't have any shelf.
But they look really good next to each other.
Oh, they're beautiful, man. I mean, I'm not just stroking you here. They're awesome. They're amazing.
John, you're a really talented designer. I have to compliment you.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
She
Yeah.
actually, that's what Mel did for many, many years. Worked for a
Yeah.
big design firm and
Yep.
graphic design firm in Chicago.
Oh, I appreciate that. Yeah, it's a passion.
You do a lot of
Cool.
other work for other people, right? I mean,
Not
mostly
a lot.
all bands or not?
What?
You do.
I do a lot of stuff for Eisenwald. I've done some stuff for Profound Lore. Yeah.
That's all
it's not-
freelance stuff, I guess.
Yeah, it's all freelance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any shows coming up? You got something coming up, right?
Mexico and Brazil for Agalloch,
When are those?
September 5th and 7th. First, we're playing Sao Paulo. We're doing a festival there, and then we're playing in Leon, Mexico, and playing a festival there.
Who's playing on the festivals? Any notable names? I can't.
One band that I'm really excited to see in Mexico is the Third and Immortal.
Wow, they're playing there.
Original lineup with Kari.
Holy fuck, that's crazy,
Yeah.
dude. Yeah, I gotta get on that and grab that stuff too, man.
And then, I think at the one in Brazil, I think Triptychon is headlining that, and they're playing like Celtic Frost stuff.
You and Tom G gonna hang out, bro down, do some beers.
I mean, I've hung out with him before.
Oh, look at you.
And like Primordial is playing both of those festivals, and I think we're flying with them to Mexico.
Alan. So you'll be
Yeah.
hanging out with Alan.
Yeah.
You'll be drinking a little bit, probably.
Yeah, I'll probably get punched.
And good. Hopefully, man. Whoever punches you, tell them to punch you again for me, please.
Yeah, and then I got two nomad or solo nomad shows
Yes.
in September, late September, the 20th and 21st, opening for Obsidian Tongue. One in Portland and then one in Olympia, Washington. So that's it.
Nice. You're working on your 4th Nomad album?
Yeah, I'm gonna release a collection of rarities and sort of studio outtakes next year, and then probably the year after that, I'll do the 4th album.
And that's the album that you're going to let the hair do the shred solo on, right?
Sure. Maybe I'll just bow your hair with a violin.
You can bow my hair. Look at that lustrous locks. There's one other thing I wanted to bring up. Fuck, what the hell was it? Oh! Did you do what I asked you to do last night?
What? That would probably be a no.
That sounds like that is a no. I only said pick up 2 posters for me. Like
No. We have a. I don't even have one for myself. Do we have a stack that Jason took home?
Of the ones from last night?
Yes.
Oh, all right. Okay. Well, I want to get 2. I want to get one for Dane, and let me know when I owe you.
I think we've got like 30 of them or something.
I think he wants his signed. I don't have mine signed by everybody but you in the band.
I'll just rip the corners off, and that will be our signature for you.
That's my guy. That's my guy. That's my friend. Oh no, whatever. It's one way. That's my.
Put it in the poster tube and then hit it with a hammer in the middle.
Yeah.
I thought you were gonna say you're gonna piss on it, wipe your ass.
Maybe I'll just fold it up and just put it in an envelope.
I would just sprinkle it into a ball and put it in like a big box, like a huge box. But all right, I'll talk to you about that. I want to thank you for popping in, dude, because I know you had a lot going on last night. You're probably pretty whipped.
Yeah, so. I got stuff going on tonight.
I'm sure I will talk to you at some point.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe not. But I will say this. You definitely ain't as cool as Kirk Winstein. I'm just going to tell you that straight up.
Probably not.
Because you're not a Frank Marino fan, so I can't go with you. But all right, I was going to say before you run off, you were saying Ambient, and we were talking about Eno being that. I do think that this album right here,
amazing record,
is the start of dark ambient. So a little different than ambient, but I do believe that this is the album that kind of started it all. I'm not 100% sure that I didn't show this the first time around. So if I did, my apologies. But I couldn't find what's going to be my where am I going with this? Honorable mention. I couldn't find the physical of it. I own it, but I couldn't find it. And I ran across this. I'm like, I got to show this. So, John, catch you later. I'll talk about this then. I'll let you spit. All right, man. Thanks for joining.
All right. See you guys.
Later, bro.
All right.
Peace. All right. Zeit from Tangerine Dream came out 72. While I wouldn't necessarily call this a straight up ambient album, there's not anything that's really. There's a beauty in it, but it's a real dark, meditative beauty, and it's. I feel it's kind of the beginning of dark ambient. It's a lot of bowed instruments that are then filtered through oscillators and sequencers, and sort of like there's a lot of psychedelia here, but it's not like your 60s psychedelia. It's more the krautrock psychedelia, if you want to go there. It's more that weird sort of drifting strangeness that you can't really put a finger on. This is the re-release from Esoteric from 2011, and it's got the Clangerly. Let's see what it's called. Let's see what it's called. The Klangwald performance in Cologne, November 72. They do essentially a performance, not of Zeit, but of a parallel piece, I guess, or whatever you want to call it, something like that. So, yeah, man. I mean, this is kind of where, for me, it all starts with Tangerine Dream mostly. Their first 4 albums are very weirdly psychedelic and crowdy and experimental and strange. You could almost say some of it's Dada-esque. You know, it's got that Dada weirdness. But this is kind of where it coalesced into the dark ambient thing, and that's because my album I wanted to show is a dark ambient classic for me, and I just can't find my box with all that artist's stuff in it. I'll mention it at the end and show a picture of it. So, all right, Mel, your last one.
My last one
You have any
is.
honorable mentions. If you don't, that's fine.
Oh, I have an honorable mention as well. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So number 5 for me is Intruder by Gary Newman. This came out in 2021. It's Gary's 19th solo album.
Which is great.
So that's pretty cool. That's a lot of albums.
That is.
This is a concept album about the Earth lashing out against humanity for years of exploitation and environmental harm. It was inspired by a poem by one of his daughters. And it's got some really interesting Middle Eastern touches to it. Like it has some really cool little touches like that. It's very brooding. It's very cinematic. It's definitely the hardest album of the ones that I picked. It's got an edge to it. And I actually have John Haughm to thank because he made a comment about Gary Newman. Like I was way late to this train, but he made a comment about Gary Newman that made me curious. So I decided to
I've
check it
only
out.
been talking about Gary Newman with you for a long time. You just don't remember it. Because I'm a massive.
No,
dude.
I don't. It didn't.
I-
It didn't click. It didn't
Yeah.
stick. So
Okay.
whatever. Anyways,
Because your track.
I got on the train.
But your Ashen Skies track, I said, this sounds like Gary Newman. But he said it to you, and you remembered. It's okay. I understand. I know. It's just me. I get it. All right. I get it.
I
But-
honestly don't remember you saying that, but thank you.
I did.
Thank you. So it made me
Wow.
curious, and I was pleasantly surprised at what I was hearing. So I
Which
have
ones
been
did you
working my way
check
through his
out?
catalog.
Did you start at the back and go back, or where did you start? Do you remember?
I started with Savage, Songs from a Broken World,
Okay.
which
Yeah,
is
which was
his
16
second
or
most
so.
recent album.
Right.
And then I moved on to Intruder. And each one I've just been really getting to know. Like I have been listening to them multiple times. And they're very interesting to me. They are very inspiring. Like I can see myself like taking inspiration from a lot of the sounds that he's using. He worked with Aid Fenton as his producer on this.
Amazing, man.
And I have to say, like, kudos to Aid Fenton because you can tell, like, the production touches on this album are
Insane.
just exquisite.
Yep.
This one, I really liked all the tracks on it. It's really hard to pick a favorite, but I did pick Intruder for my song to play, which is the title track, just because it was the title track, not because I liked it better than the other ones. Because the whole album's really good.
It's very good. I just got it. Crazily. Interestingly, I just got that, and here's what I grabbed. I grabbed that, which I was kind of shocked I didn't even own. I did not own. Fuck, I don't know where it's at up there. I'm sorry, it's up there somewhere. I grabbed that and this. And this is an album from him that's from '84 when he kind of went into a weird period. It started with Warriors in '83. Because Mel, you know what Gary's most famous for, right?
Cars.
Right, of course. But a lot of other, songs from like Two Way Army, Down in the Park, Are We Electric? I mean, just so many killer late '70s, early '80s songs. But that was Cars was what made him, famous, I guess you could say. And
Do you
then
want to
he
know
went-
something stupid?
What's up?
Years ago, I got the Songs in the Key of X-Files soundtrack.
Yep.
And Down in the Park was on there, but it was by the Foo Fighters, so I thought it was a Foo Fighters song.
I didn't know they did that track. Marilyn Manson does a pretty cool cover of Down in the Park. No, that's Gary Newman. Two Way Army, yeah. Replicants album, I believe. But what I wanted to get across was this album, which is not a choice of mine tonight, could be in the future, but um, this is the box set. It's got the album remastered, I believe. Disc two, which full of a bunch of bonus extended mixes and all kind of stuff, and then the White Noise live album. Two of the Me I Disconnect from You's another big one. Metal. I mean, there's so many killer Gary Newman tracks. So talented. This album blew my mind though because this is from what is kind of even Gary calls it his lost years or his lost era, where he did a lot of weird, not generally too great albums. But this one, I swear I listened to it once way before and was like, eh. But man, when I got this box, I took a flyer on. I'm like, actually, when I saw this was up, it just got released April, I think. I'm like, man, I gotta go listen to that quick. And I threw it on. I'm like, why did I think this album sucked? This album's amazing. It's actually mind-blowingly amazing. Yeah, I don't know. Gary's going a little gothy alien. He always the alien guy, but this album, Mel, check this out. It's absolutely killer. It reminds me
I'll
of
put that on my list to do next.
Yeah, it really reminds me of a mix between Telecon, I Assassin, and Dance, which are his first 3, 4, and 5 albums, or 4, 5, and 6 albums. I forget off the top of my head. I'd have to sit and think about it. But I'm a huge Newman fan, man. I own most of it except that Lost Year stuff because he did a Mad Max themed album called Warriors. It's not good. I think he even says that. It's just so dancey and not in a good way. This has dancey.
He talks about that in his book, which is really awesome. If anybody wants a good read, it's called Revolution.
I got to get that book. Look for it tonight.
He talks about that in his book, how he went through a period where he just completely lost his confidence and he was letting other people influence his music and he wasn't like just being himself.
Well, because he had this massive hit and everybody wanted another Cars. They wanted Cars Part 2.
Yeah.
And he had some other hits and he couldn't, I think creatively he was in a weird place and getting a lot of external influence. It was not good. They called it the Numa years, Numa, when he started his own label originally. So
yeah.
But yeah, that's a good choice, and we'll hear that actually first. So, all right, Louis, last one and honorable mention.
First, my quick Gary Newman story, because I saw Gary Newman live once, and what was the most memorable thing about that evening was that the forgettable opening act sucked so much they let people go out of the theater and come back in when the opening act was done.
Oh, really?
Really?
What year? Do you remember what tour that was for, or what year?
Oh, no, I don't. I remember
first time I saw him was for Jagged or Pure, so mid to late 2000s, 06, 05, 07.
Could have been around that time. I remember
where he was kind of getting into the 9 Inch Nails thing, but I would argue that without Gary Newman, there is no 9 Inch Nails.
9 Inch Nails. Yeah,
Trent even says that. Trent admits it. Trent's had Gary come on and play metal and do a bunch of songs with him many times, so they're good buddies. But that was the period where he kind of revived himself around Pure, Exile. Exile was his kind of comeback with Cleopatra, where he kind of delved more into that gothy, dark, ambient mixed with industrial 9 Inch Nails, guitars, that kind of stuff. But I saw him on the Splinter tour. I met him twice. He's a lovely guy. He really is a wonderful guy. So nice. One of the coolest guys I've ever met. But he met his wife too. But yeah, great artist that kind of mixes the genre bending a little bit there.
Yeah.
And he's not like a pure ambient or dark ambient, or he's like he's a little bit of all that with some pop sensibilities to his songwriting. So
yeah.
All right, what you got for number 5?
I got Banco de Gaya's Last Train to Lhasa
there we go.
Record, which is the electronic record I probably have bought the most versions
Oh,
of.
really?
Yeah, because there was originally a 2 CD version released in the US and a 3 CD version released in the UK. And I bought the US version first,
Holy
then
hell!
bought the UK version, and then 20 years later, he put this one out, which was the 20th anniversary edition that I mail ordered from him, and it's a 4 CD version, and I don't think he has an extra CD of music to put another version for the 30th anniversary.
I have two of them. I have Big Men Cry, their second album or third album, excuse
Third
me,
album, yeah,
and the Magical Sounds. I don't
the
actually.
Magical Sounds of Banco de Gaia. Yeah,
Yeah, I don't think I actually owned that one that you're just showing there.
that probably to me is his best record. Although
Where's he
oh,
from?
he's from the UK.
That's right. That's right.
He's
Yeah.
from the UK, and I got hooked to him because he was on the Planet Dog label in the 90s, the same label that It's Static was. It's Static, Time
There you go.
Shard,
Yeah. Yep.
Children of the Bong. They were all
Children
on
of
the
the
same
Bong.
label. Yeah.
Children of the Bong. Yes. That's fucking hilarious. Um, yeah, what you got for and we're gonna hear a Banco de Gaia track that we're gonna get to in a minute. What's the honorable mention? Any?
The honorable mention, since I was at a place without a turntable, only took CDs,
Mhm.
is a very old vinyl record. Uh,
which
You
is
are back.
backwards.
You are backwards.
I am backwards.
Thought you weren't when I. There we go. There we go. Walt.
Walter Carlos Sonic Seasonings from 1972,
I remember this.
which is a beautiful ambient record with uh, 4 side-long pieces, one about each season, that you can probably still get used copies at a reasonable price on places like Discogs, and was reissued on CD once by East Side Digital. But you can get vinyl copies at a cheaper price than the one and done CD reissue.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because
It's pretty widely available back then.
I would tell you that the vinyl copies are probably widely available, and the one print CD reissue is not.
All right. So my last salvo, I'm gonna actually check that album out. I want to look into grabbing that because I know it. I'm 99% sure Wilson talked about it before, but all right, so my final pick is definitely an artist that Wilson turned me on to with the album The River, I think it was called. And I've got a lot of this guy's stuff. And I actually saw him live. And John was talking about watching two guys with computers, two guys with laptops, how boring it is. And it kind of is. Unless you're at a techno fest and you're drinking and you're partying and whatever else you're doing, we'll just stop there. Watching guys just sit there with laptops can be boring. But this guy, watching him was really fucking fun. Saw him in 2023, in December 2023, in DC. Kind of found out about the show about a day before it happened, and I was like, yeah, I'm going. And that is William Basinski. And the album is Melancholia. And you're going to hear a track of it. Let me check my notes here. Most know William Basinski for the disintegration loops, which were kind of tied very tightly into the Twin Towers going down.
Yeah.
It came out before that, but he put out a box set, which I have, which I'm kind of surprised I didn't pull that out. But there's so much stuff you can only do so much, and we'll talk about my channel in a minute and my situation very briefly for a second, or maybe I'll go live after you guys are off and we'll do that because I don't want to put you through that. So, most know William for the disintegration loops, which I was massively into when I discovered William through Steven Wilson. But I didn't get into the disintegration loops until he told me about The River, which is one of his earlier albums. I don't remember if it was before or after. It was right around when the DLP. It's called DLPS because Disintegration shortened it. But Steve definitely turned me on to them. But I love them. But Melancholia, which came out in November of 2002 or 3, is kind of for me his masterpiece. This album sounds like it was recorded in a lonely, desolate castle on the North British sea coast on a handheld magnetic tape deck from 1932. And I look, that's when the first handheld tape decks came out, 1930s. While a raging storm is crashing around in the background. These are achingly haunted, forlorn, sparse, fragmented, sadly melodic loops that emerge and disappear like a breath. Like it almost feels like you're breathing when you're very aware of your breathing when you're listening to this album. It's so emotionally evocative and intense. This is pain, beautiful pain, to the depths of your bones. This is what pain sounds like. Beautiful pain to the depths of your bone. This is a funeral dirge album that at once affects you as the harbinger of death and the resurrection of your cosmic energy source. This is music of the ether. That's a 10 out of 10 record for me. I absolutely love this album. I don't remember when I got it. It's been a while. I don't think I got it in 2003. I probably got it mid to late 2000s, but I had it on a CDR. I don't even know who. Somebody must have burned it for me. Maybe Steven sent it to me. I don't remember. But I picked up the vinyl 2 years ago. He's out on. They're out of Brooklyn. Is it Brooklyn Vegan?
I believe he lives in Brooklyn. He is.
No, he's in L.A. He lives in L.A. now.
Now, okay.
Yeah.
He's really good friends with my friends Wendy and Carl.
I'm sure. Yeah. I'm trying to remember what label this is on. Oh, here it is. Temporary Resonance.
Mm-hmm.
Temporary Resonance. This reissue came out in 14. Really cool, mottled kind of orange. I don't typically do this, but it's such a cool looking variant. Can't really see them there. It's my
That's
marble.
beautiful.
Yeah, sounds fucking amazing.
We are all suckers for colored vinyl.
Yeah, I am. A lot of people are. John would piss all over that. Nah. Although Agalloch does colored vinyl. Just put it that way. But man, you're gonna hear this. It is absolutely beautiful. And it was one of my choices, and I just could not locate it, and ran across the Tangerine Dream site. So I kind of was like, yeah, I got to show that. But this was definitely one I wanted to show. And what's interesting, I think I'm going to pull up this. Yeah, check this shit out. This is the Hafler Trio, which essentially started out as a duo or a trio. I think it was a trio originally. And the main guy is Andrew McKenzie, and there was two other guys that Chris Lipton, I think, or something like that was one of the guys. I can't remember the other guy's name. And I didn't take deep notes on that. But this is Drone, and more Drone. And it's a long form CD. It's almost like bigger than an A5. It's sizable, probably about this big. 2 CDs, a DVD. The DVD's a Powell DVD though, because he lived in Iceland for a long time, and this guy and I probably are kindred spirits because he's had a lot of long-term autoimmune problems, which is what I have, and it's really affected his ability to be kind of out there. But he was very prolific at one point. I don't know if he's still doing stuff. I really don't. Basically, he recorded this at Clifford's Tower in York, England, during October 2002. And there's the DVD, which I have seen before because I had a Blu-ray player that had a PAL setting on it. Is very haunting and kind of like almost like. Are you guys familiar with the movie, the Swedish? I think it's Swedish or Norwegian movie called Vampire.
No. No.
It was a I can't remember the guy's name. It's right on the tip of my tongue. Where's that? Come on, movie. I can't remember the dude's name. Come on, why? I put that in and it. Oh, there it is. 1932 movie that was done by. There it is. Carl Theodor Dreyer, and it's really this fucking killer movie that is just weird and creepy at times, and that's what the footage reminded me of a lot. But this is a very dark drone, very atmospheric album that you just kind of feel like you fall into and can't get out of, like being trapped in like a tar pit or something like that, or maybe like black fucking quicksand. It just kind of sucks you down, and it's not a happy album. I'm not gonna lie to you. But I don't listen to a lot of happy music a lot of the time. But I mean, this stuff is killer. I wish I could have shown it to people, but I just don't have it. But thanks, buddy. Thanks, Brandon. It's interesting. Before we play the tracks here, I'm gonna go to this view here. When I did this originally, and Melinda was on the very first one, and John Comiskey popped on quick, and Serge was on that one. Unfortunately, he's got a little boy that's quite a handful these days, and he's going through some stuff, so he just couldn't make it. And obviously, Chuck never got here. So, and actually, while I'm at it, let me throw up Chuck's picks just because. But what I was going to say was that. Mel, you collated them. Can you read them off?
Oh, sure.
Do you mind? This is my friend Chuck, who wasn't able to make it. He was out in the woods of California, and I guess couldn't get a signal. What's he got?
Okay, so Thomas Fanger, Parlez-vous Electronique. Steve Roach, Dreamtime Return.
Great record.
Astralasia, Cluster of Waves, featuring Simon House.
Simon House from
Hawkwind.
Hawkwind, thanks.
Hawkwind and Simon House's Parallel Realms was his
Thank you.
solo project, which was
Right.
amazing.
Yes.
Right.
Saw them open for Nick Turner years ago.
That's right.
Nice.
That's right. Yeah.
And then we've got Free System Project with a K, Moyland, and then Manuel Gottsching and Ashra Temple, New Age of Earth.
Yeah, and we'll play that track last. But what I was going to say about this series was when the intention was when I started it back in this June of 23, we did this long, expansive thing that ended up being, believe it or not, it was only like 4.5 hours, but I don't think we got into talking about each album quite as much as we did on this time. And you know me, I always have to get my commentary and sort of talk about other people's picks that I'm immersed in or own or whatever. But the intention was to do this like every month, pull like 2 people. The first one was the big splash, right? The big thing. And that was going to be just like us, like 2 or 3 people. Yeah. And so we could really expand on it, maybe listen to more material, right? And but I don't remember exactly what happened and why it never resurfaced again. And it's kind of weird because I'm in a very difficult place right now with my health, like extremely difficult. And Mel, we've had many, many long conversations. Lou, we've had a couple. I haven't overwhelmed you with it, but there's a lot going on, some scary shit, and I am struggling mightily. And I made a decision yesterday that I felt like I was going to leave YouTube, but man, it kind of hurts because I love doing this kind of stuff. You know what I mean? Meeting up with old friends. We've all been friends for going on 30 years.
Yeah.
We all met, I believe we all met on the PT Trans, I think, right?
Right.
Louis?
Yeah.
Yeah, which was kind of one of those early sort of almost like a Yahoo, like a user group, like chat group.
I can't even remember what hosted the original PT Trans so long ago.
Man, I thought it came from Didier's website or Serge's, but I can't remember. That was Serge would remember. I'll have to ask him.
There was a guy named Bean who remember Bean who was a.
Oh yeah.
That's right. Bean. That's right. Holy shit!
Forgot about Bean.
And Jay Monkey used to be on there, and
Yeah.
then Julian Belanger. You know how much I love that guy. He loved me too.
Julian committed suicide. I don't know if you knew that.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
Doesn't shock me. He was not the kind of guy.
I met Julian because Julian lives across the river from me in Windsor, Canada, and he used to come to shows to Detroit.
Yeah. I'm trying to Aggie. Remember Aggie?
Agnieszka, yeah.
From Poland. There were a couple other regulars that would. Lou Fisher, obviously. Rest in peace, Lou.
Yeah.
Ken Brown, I believe, was in that cycle, sort of.
Ken Brown, Juice Van Ginkel.
That's
oh
right.
yeah.
Peter Haberly, who put together this insane compendium.
Which is, I was actually looking for a recording date for something, and he put like a 12th edition out, and it's like more than 1,000 pages now.
Dude, I'm in it. I think some of us are in it. I know I'm in it.
I'm thanked somewhere on the introduction to the first edition.
Yeah, he sent me a copy. I need to try to reach out to him, and I don't know if he ever got a published copy of that. But to those that are watching right now, I'm rambling a little bit, and we'll get to the tunes here in a minute. But the way we all met was basically around the band Porcupine Tree or No Man or some their iteration of Steven Wilson's work back around 2000, 2001. I became a fan of Wilson in 99 with Stupid Dream. Well, actually with not with Stupid Dream, with Signify first.
No, it was way before 2001, because when a lot of us got to meet physically for the first time was at the 2001 Nearfest show.
At Nearfest, right? No,
Yeah.
but I only came into PT in 99 of May. I know that for a fact.
But you were lurking around PT Trans before then.
I don't think I was, Louis. Maybe I was, but I don't think I
Yeah.
was. Well, anyway, the bottom line is that we all came together around that time, and we all started meeting up. We've all met each other in person. Louis and Melinda stayed at my house many years ago when we went to see one of the side projects with the incredibly popular Aviv Geffen. Now it's standing in the rain.
Please don't.
Okay, sorry. It's a great album, but
Remember the Blackfield tour when Aviv used to take his shirt off and jump off the drum riser?
super rock star shit. Super rock star shit. Yeah.
The look on your face is priceless.
Were you at? I don't think it was you. I think it was me, and I'm pretty sure it wasn't you. But wait, no, maybe it was you. You were at the New York recording at the Bowery, right?
Yes.
The video,
Yes.
the DVD. Yeah, because we got stuck in the fucking ice storm.
Absolutely. It took us like 8 hours to make it from one side of New Jersey to the other.
Fucking insane, dude. That was insane, man. I don't know. I don't think you guys were with me. We went to the Philly Blackfield show, and then Tracy, who I was kind of sort of seeing, Tracy.
Yeah,
was
I remember Tracy. Yeah,
and I reached out to her a couple years ago. We haven't really stayed in contact. She hadn't seemed to want to, but we went then down to DC because I was at the New York show, then the Philly show with you guys. Went to Philly or New York with Serge. Serge came down from Philly, but then Tracy and I went to DC, and that was the infamous one where Steve broke a string on his PRS, and he says, "Jeff, do you have your PRS with you?" Because I just bought a PRS. It was kind of funny, but
was it DC? Man. Was it DC or was it Annapolis?
It was. No,
we saw Blackfield together.
No, hang on, it was in DC because then they did a different one in Annapolis that you were with me with. Yeah. Because you came in, I think, 2 times for that.
I came for the acoustic show in Philly,
right.
and we saw them in Annapolis, New York City. they were kind of playing they were going to play Newark or somewhere in Jersey after the New York show, but we blew it off, drove back to Washington, and wound up seeing explosions in the sky.
Yeah, because we drove by the 9:30 club and there was fucking people everywhere. We're like, what's going on? They're like, and I somehow managed to grab us tickets and we went in to see explosions. That was a night, man. That was a
That was a
you gotta
killer.
remember back during that time I was sober, which was weird.
Yeah.
Because I got sober after the 2002 November Fletcher show when shit went real bad. Like lots of consequences for that. Like my marriage was dissolved because of that. Well, not because of it, but part of it. But I spent some time in jail because of that. It was not a good night. Not a good night there. But yeah, a lot of crazy fucking times, man. I mean, it's I am looking forward to, but I just don't. Hey Ed, how you doing, buddy? I am hoping that I can make the Steven Wilson shows in October. I have tickets for I think it's the 5th and the 7th, and the 5th is in Philly, but he added another show on the 4th, I believe it is, and then this 7th is in DC, and I actually have front row seats for that. So the fanboy in me came out, and I just was like, fuck it, I'm getting front rows, man. I'm splurging. So, yeah, we had some great times, and it's really amazing to have you guys both. Louis, I don't know why why we kind of missed each other for quite a few years. We kind of come back together and talk a time or two, and then I don't know what was up.
We're going to do it more often. You know what strange creature from the past popped in my head the other day?
John DeLorso.
Well, no, John DeLorso.
He was another one.
John DeLorso is still trying to sell me used cars on Facebook. So,
all right.
Marty.
Oh, wow, yeah.
I brought up Marty when we were talking the other day because, Marty Ginny.
Yeah.
Israel. Yeah, I was talking about Romy. Romy was another one too. Marty was all over the PT trends. You know that. Marty was, his whole life was Steven Wilson and Blackfield in particular. When he got that Blackfield demo or pre-advance or whatever, God, it was like, you can listen to it, but you can't look at it. I was like, walked over to the car. Can I see it? No. I can't let anybody see this. You can't see it. I can only put it in the car. Marty, if you're out there, hopefully you're doing well, friend. I've also reconnected with Tom Pickle recently.
Yeah.
And what I would love to do, and this flies in the face of what I already announced I'm going to do, which is what I'm going to talk about after we get off in a separate thing. But I would have loved to have gotten all of us PT people together. I still would like to do it. I would hope that everyone would like to do it. I just don't know if I can pull everybody together, but I'll try. That's one thing I would like to try. Maybe that is something I ride into the sunset on. I'm not sure. But, I mean, you guys know I'm dealing with something very difficult.
Mm-hmm.
And Melinda has been so amazing to me. She's listened to me moan and whine. She's heard me talk about my symptoms over and over and over for 8,000 times. She's seen pictures that her eyes have probably been scarred from. And, she's been very, very helpful with all this. And at least keeping me here and grounded and sane because
you do it, and I'll try to deliver all the strange people from the past I can find.
Well, start looking around to dig some people up that like, I mean, if we could find Ken Brad, we could find, Lou's unfortunately gone, but Marty, I have no idea how to get a hold
Marty,
of
I don't know. I remember Luca, the Italian guy, Luca Benporra.
Yeah.
I can find him.
Yeah, and I've got Doug.
Yeah.
Remember Doug?
Yeah.
Doug, I'd like to find J Monkey, but man, I just don't.
I was going to ask you about him. Yeah.
Huh?
I was going to ask you about him.
Well, the last time I talked to him, I was in a parking lot at a CD store down in Towson, Maryland, that we always used to go to. That was killer. That the name is escaping me. I can't remember the name of it. Love that place. Every time I go to Baltimore for a show or DC, I'd always hit there and spend way too fucking much money. But can't remember the name of it. But I was talking to him, and he was still doing movie set stuff, and he was living in Hawaii at the time. Now, unfortunately, him and Ann split up, and Ann ended up marrying some other guy, and that was a pretty rough sort of go. I do have minimal contact with Ann. I could reach out to her. I could even reach out to Tracy and just see if they'd want to pop in and just do sort of a PT retrospective kind of. We could do it under the guise of your top 5 PT albums or something like that.
Yeah.
Just to you know, kind of give it a theme thing as opposed to just a bunch of PT weirdo nerds hanging out, that's essentially what it would be, you know. But Tom, you know, there's other guys. I got to sit down. Romy Barr. I'd like to find him, and John probably knows how to get a hold of him.
Yeah.
John and I have had some issues in our relationship over the last 5 years, unfortunately, 4 years. We are convivial to one another. I don't really think he likes me very much, to be honest with you.
You were talking about the Blackfield Bowery thing. There was one time that John came here to visit Romy, and we put a night together where we watched the Blackfield Bowery video with color commentary from me and John. You would have died.
Oh, really?
Oh.
Were you guys were making fun of me the whole time? I'm sure. Right?
No, just at the small parts that you showed up.
Oh yeah, well I'm in it quite a bit at the
Yeah.
front, and I mean now I kind of embarrassed by the fact that I'm standing there going, "Now you see me in the rain" or whatever I was singing. Who knows? Whatever.
No,
song.
we were making more fun. Remember the 2 ambiguous guys who used to stand in the front?
We called them the ambiguously gay duo. Yes.
Yeah.
Great guys, absolutely great guys. The bald guy, the short guy was Steve.
Mm-hmm.
Steve. His husband or boyfriend was not going to come to me.
Yeah.
Some with a C, like Chad or something like that. Great fucking guys.
Yeah.
John and Linda. That'd be another one. John and Linda. You remember them?
Yeah.
From New York, Jersey.
Len Senecal.
Mariah. Yeah. Fuck. I got to see if I can reconnect with these people. You guys can help me do that. So if you have any way to figure out how to get a hold of some of those people, please.
Ray Badowski.
Ray Badowski from Connecticut, man. Always had the cool shit that nobody else had because he had money.
Yeah.
What was Dave's name? Dave, the tall guy from New York, who was a big Sylvian fan. Was it Dave Smith?
Dave Martin.
Dave Martin. That would be another guy to look into. So
I think he kind of fell off the face of the earth, and Delorso was able to relocate him.
You know, if anybody could find all these people, it would be fucking Delorso, man. So if you have a line to Delorso, get it to me, and I'll call John because I can't. I actually need a car after getting my fucking car demolished, but I don't think I can afford the car.
Okay.
But get his contact to me. I'll see if we can round all these people up and
No, I'll send Delorso your email.
Yeah. All right. So that's that. That's how we all came together, and it's awesome to have been reconnected. And I want to thank Crazy White Boy here, Record and Tape Traders. Ding 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 ding. You nailed it. That's the place. That place was fucking incredible. Amazing store. And Ed's Den of Metal. What's up, Ed? Good to see you, man. All right, so we're going to get into the musical portion of this, which is going to be about a half hour-ish or so if you guys are still cool with hanging out. And what shall do is I need you to, when I say so, you're going to have to mute your mic.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
And because I have to do echo cancellation, turn it off so you can hear the music. So I think we'll start with Gary Newman first, which is definitely going to be the track. Had I thought about this, Mel, I didn't think about this. This is definitely going to be the track that gets me nabbed by, actually, and second thought, maybe I better play that last because that could be the one that gets me kicked off. I'm not sure. He's a UAE guy, United Artists, and sometimes it's definitely going to demonetize me for that track, which is fine. I don't care about that. But let's do. Oh shit! What happened to? Here it is. All right, let's do John's track, "Deeper Purity" from Matthias Grassau. Rest in peace. and we're gonna start it here. Hit your mute. Wow, that was cool.
That was
That was
very
very cool. Let me do one thing quick here. All right. Yeah, very Eno-esque, obviously, in a lot of ways, but very. There's a lot of William Basinski in that too. Like the river had a lot of that. Has that kind of a vibe where it's just
like a lot of layers to it too.
yeah, where you're hearing the piano notes kind of plucked out, but you got that ambient layer of synths that are just kind of drifting and ever so slightly shifting and whatnot. And that is actually part 4 of a 4-part album there, called what was it called? Purity, I believe, right? That has 4 parts. So it was like a 40-minute song. And John's like, yeah, just play Purity. I'm like, dude, it's like 40 minutes. Like, I'm not gonna do that tonight. But yeah. So thank you, John. That was a great pick. Really into it there. I think what we'll do is we'll break that up with a shorter one, which is my pick. Which, man, this is just insanely killer stuff. This is gonna be William Basinski's Melancholia Part 1. Only about 3.5 minutes. And again, you got to keep in mind these are looped tapes, literally reel-to-reel tapes that he's taken source material from and either recorded or gotten from old records or whatever, and he's sampled it, and then he manipulates and does. And like I said, when I watched him live, first of all, he's a cool-looking dude. He's just got that vibe. He looks like a rock star, but like a 70s rock star, but like he's not. He doesn't have guitars, but he looks like a killer, like metal guitar player. Like, it's just funny, and he's funny as shit, man. I mean, he was in DC in 23 prior to the election, and he was just shitting all over Trump hard, man. It was just great. It was awesome, man. But making jokes, just very, very, very funny and flamboyant kind of guy. But he would up there and be manipulating faders and everything. It was just, so it was a little more involved than just watching 2 dudes sitting there press and play and kind of going, and occasionally adjusting a knob, that kind of thing. But so this is Melancholia Part 1 from William Basinski. You go ahead and mute, guys.
Nice.
Very nice.
Yeah, very ethereal, sad, haunting. Uh, weird, very much melancholic. It kind of sounds like what it is, and it's very soothing. Like that, it's repetitive, but it's the little manipulations of the things that are going on underneath it, and that's a recurring theme. Like that weird little trumpety sounding thing that kind of comes in and is manipulated at the beginning, the first minute or so. It kind of comes back throughout. Like the album is, I think, 9 pieces or 11 pieces. I can't remember how. Well, let's see. I don't want to lie here. 7 pieces. And they range in length from 6 minutes to only a minute 24. So it's not a super long. I'm sorry, no, it's not. It's not. I'm wrong. 7. It is 14. And like I said, one piece is 117 long. Longest one is 710. They don't all have that repetitiveness of the same little arpeggio being done, but it's very in that vein of just, and some of those themes just kind of recycle and come back, and they're really haunting. So, all right, let's see, what do we got next? We got Banco de Gaia. I think I'm gonna actually skip Chuck's track. Sorry, Chuck, you gotta show up, dude. I'm gonna skip that one only simply because for time savings here. Because otherwise we will be here to for 3 hours. So I'm gonna cut that one back. I guess we'll do Banco de Gaia. Gaia. There you go. Banco de Gaia. Right. Yeah. And I have one other track. I was gonna make it a group track, but I decided I had to throw in one track that I want everyone to hear. Like I said, it's my party, and I'll cry if I wanna.
Oh, okay.
So we are gonna do an all Tecker track, and then we'll wrap with Gary Newman's track. All right, Mel?
Okay.
Sure.
I chose this. This is probably the shortest version of this track, and half jokingly, I was thinking we could have done the 40-minute, very extended ambient.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I think we got to skip that tonight. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not really worried about being demonetized, because a lot of the stuff I do, I don't care about that stuff.
I don't think you're getting trouble from Banco de Gaia, who's an independent, who's out for all the free promotion, all the free promo he can get.
Yeah, probably not. I think it's going to be, if anything's going to get, it's going to be the Newman track, but we'll see. Maybe it won't. I don't know. Maybe it won't. I think he's UAE though. That's why I think it's going to get me. But United Artist. Okay, so we'll do that one. I'm thinking it's about 8 years. How long is that track, Louis? About 12 minutes?
I think it's like the 3-minute video version, so it should be relatively quick. This is the video of this that was actually shown at one illustrated point in time on MTV.
Well, I actually pulled up the 11-minute version. You don't want to hear that one then?
Oh, do the 11-minute version.
Yeah, we can do that one.
Yeah.
It's a great track.
Yeah.
By the way, can you guys see me?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. Because I'm working off 2 windows, and usually I'm in the same group of tabs, but I couldn't get it to work this time, and my head's a little bit too foggy to worry about that. So I wasn't sure if when I minimize my session, if I disappear, but it doesn't make sense because there's the camera.
And I actually saw Toby Marks, who's Banco de Gaia, do this track live at probably the greatest $5 show I ever went to.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
All right, so it's going to be about 23 minutes of music yet coming at you. So here we go with Banco de Gaia, and you got to mute again, guys. Man, what a cool track.
Yeah.
What a cool track. I forgot how great that shit is. I mean, it's very reminiscent of that time and era when stuff like Deep Forest and Intermix and Delirium were happening, where people were integrating a lot of, you know, world music into their ambient techno sort of stuff, you know, the dance stuff like that. That because that kind of straddles a couple different spheres of like world EDM, IDM, so well EDM mostly. Do you like that? Do you have that, Mel?
I think so.
Yeah, that was a big one back in the early 2000s. Like, when did you say that came out?
That came out in the 1990s,
Okay,
probably 95, 96.
was it really that late? I didn't. Okay, I
Early, yeah.
was thinking it was a little closer to the early 2000s, but that's killer, man.
Yeah.
All right, my weirdo glitchy sort of track is we're gonna do Clipper, the song Clipper from Autechre's Try Repete or Repete, whatever you have to say.
Whatever. Okay.
Yeah, and we'll do that one. Then we'll do Gary Newman last. So we should be out of here by 11 o'clock, which is 3 hours. I thought we'd be able to do this quicker, but whatever. Is anybody dying? Anybody got to take? You can jump up while the music's on, take a break
No.
if you need to. But we're almost done, so just hang in there 1 minute here, and we'll go mute again. All right. Stop sharing. Stop sharing. There we go. Oh, what's it still doing there? I stopped sharing. What do you want? Oh, there we go. I'm sorry. Yeah, I really was into that shit. That really glitchy, weird sort of It's not even tribal. It just sounds alien. It's just something.
It doesn't sound that alien. I could describe that as kind of danceable, glitchy in a way.
But a lot of their stuff isn't though. A lot of this album is probably the only one that's really.
The only one that is. I can see some of the DJs in Detroit working that into the middle of a set.
Yeah. Well, I mean, in that case, yes,
Yeah.
that definitely works there. But you have much experience with them, Mel, at all?
Oh, I love them. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And I have to say that particular song reminded me a lot of Silent Shout by The Knife.
I don't know that one. Wow.
No.
Who's that?
It's a
Project?
brother and a sister
Okay.
from Norway. Her name's Karen. I forget her last name. But
Well,
it's
I'll
her
have
and
to
her
check that
brother.
out. I'll have to check that one out though. That's definitely
Mhm.
cool. Yeah, it's funny. I hadn't listened to that in I don't know, like 10 years, maybe, probably something like that. And
Yeah.
once I put that on, I'm like, man, I totally forgot how killer this album is. And so now, of course, I got to go pull all the Arteca out and start
Yeah.
jerking around that. But Bob, before I jump to the last track, look what I got in the other day, Louis. Man, the other day meaning like 3 weeks ago.
Okay.
Let me blow myself up here. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Oh, let me get rid of that comment. Here we go.
Oh,
I got a deal of a deal on this, dude. The first, well, it's one Debbie Deep, and this is a good one too.
I love that record.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
That
And
was one of the first fully digital records ever made, and it's amazing.
really
The
okay. I didn't know.
vinyl is beautiful.
But what I'm was going to get to here was that I had never heard this album before.
Oh,
My God, it's so good.
That's a good one.
that to me is his masterpiece.
Yeah, I would have to agree. It's right there. But I gotta say, I fucking love this album too.
Well, that's interesting. That's
And
without the third album, Caravanserai would have never happened.
That's true. That's true. But you and I, when we talked 2 years ago, or I don't know, when you had your cancer,
Mhm.
we talked about doing something with Santana. So we'll talk about it because I'm in a real weird state of mind about the channel and with everything that's going on with my health. But
Well, I'm gonna throw my 50 cents in. You should keep it going. I think that helps give you a purpose.
Yeah, I agree.
it does. But I'm just struggling, man. You
Well-
talk about it offline. We'll talk about it offline. But anyway, so we'll get to the last track here, which is "Intruder" by Gary Newman, one of my all-time favorite artists. And regardless of what Melinda says, I talked to her about Gary Newman many times before.
Okay, I'm sorry.
She's star fuckering John Haughm because she's like, "Oh, John, you got me to get into." But her old pal Geoff, I am 1,000,000% certain I've talked about Gary Newman forever because I fucking love Gary Newman, man. One of the coolest moments ever was on the Savage tour, which I can't remember when that album came out. The Savages or whatever. When did that album come out? 1918? 18. 17, 18, 16, somewhere in that range.
The Savage album,
Yeah, when did that come out?
2017.
17, that makes sense. He played a local club here that sadly is gone now, ripped to the Chameleon Club downtown, where I've seen, oh man, God, so many shows going back to, I don't even know when, man, like 20, whenever I started drinking, which is 21. So that was a fucking long time ago. Not as long ago as Louis, but pretty close.
Oh, no, the drinking age in Puerto Rico was way more liberal.
Ah, well, wasn't here ever, but like I saw Testament, King's X, Live, Steve Vai, Alter Bridge, Eric Johnson, Eric Gales. It's just so many bands there, right? Just an awesome place. And Gary came there for the Savages tour, and man, when he does the Alex Gray mix, have you heard? You've not heard this yet, Mel, and probably you haven't either.
No, I haven't.
You got to check out Prayer for the Unborn. In fact, Mel, when we end, the first thing you have to do after you do whatever you got to do, but listen to Prayer for the Unborn, the Alex Gray mix. It is the most fucking amazing song you're ever gonna hear. It just, and that's a song from Pure, which was I think 2007, 2006, 9, I don't know, whatever it was. I don't remember the timeline for him because I haven't studied in a while. But and that's a guy that I've wanted to do a deep dive on so bad, but I felt like it would be boring as shit watching me talk about him because I'll just fucking go off for every album. It'd be like 14 hours long if I talk about it. So
break it into little chunks.
Might have to. Could do the ears, but I like talking to other people though. I've yet to do like a deep dive on my own because I just don't feel like. Yes, there'll be a shorter video, probably quite a bit shorter, but we would think. But you never know with me because you never know because like a short version of Jeff is like 3.5 hours. The long version is like 14 days.
All day.
14 days, yeah. So you know how it is, man. I get super excited about shit. So, but yeah, Newman, man, that song you gotta check it out. I'll send you the when I get off. I'll send you the link. So
that's a very personal song to him too.
Very personal. I think was it about
talks about it in the book.
Was it about losing a pregnancy or something?
Yeah. Yeah.
But the original version is awesome. But the Alex Gray version is fucking bonsai crazy good, man. It's so good. And he does live, he does that version. When I saw him, Aid Fenton was playing with him. And the
no
lights,
shit.
Oh, yeah. Aid's played with him a couple times. I've seen him with Aid at least 3 times. Yeah.
Okay.
And Richard, his old drummer, was with him, and Tim Mudahay or something like that, the original bass player with him for a long time. I've seen him with all that. He's got a lot of new guys. The only guy that's the original guy with him that's been with him forever is Steve Harris, the guitar player. Not the Steve Harris of Iron Maiden, different Steve Harris. But yeah, so we're going to do Intruder. I've only just, weirdly, this was the last album he put out, 2021.
2021.
Okay, and so he's about due. I think he's working on something, I believe. From what I understand, he's fairly well along. And he just put out that. Is that it? I don't know where it's at. It's up there. Too much shit in this.
Oh, room.
The live Perfect Circle thing. Not the band, but the name of the album is Perfect Circle. It's fantastic, man. The Blu-ray is fucking amazing, man. It's so good. And he puts on one of the best visual aural assault live shows you'll ever want to see. So if he comes around, the last time he came around, he was with Ministry and Frontline Assembly, which I would have loved to have gone, but I can't remember what the deal was. He was playing somewhere that I know. He was playing Philly at the old Electric Factory, and the fucking tickets were stupid priced. So I kind of passed on that, and Serge and I had been kind of going back and forth. I find out like 2 days later, Serge goes to the show up in Bethlehem where the tickets were a lot cheaper, and he doesn't tell me that he's going. I find out the next day, and I'm like, dude, bro, like, what was up with that? And he's like, I just on a whim I went. And I'm like, yeah, well, you could have like on a whim told me you were thinking about going, and I could have on a whim decided if I on a whim wanted to go. It's like, but so I'm kind of bummed I missed that tour really bad. Now he's out with Psychedelic Furs.
Yes.
Coming up this when? November?
No, it's actually earlier than that.
I think
Oh,
earlier. yeah.
September?
September. But
September,
he's
maybe?
doing some solo shows too. It depends on the city.
Yeah,
Some are just
he
him and some are with the psychedelic furs.
He is. The problem is he's not coming anywhere near me, man. I mean, not even remotely near me. It's kind of pissed me off.
Is he hitting the Midwest?
He's going to Chicago. I'm not going to go see it because I don't want to see the psychedelic furs.
Oh, the psychedelic furs are awesome. They're awesome. Love
They're okay.
my way. It's a new way. Here it is. Tours. Let's see.
It's a tough one for me going to see the psychedelic first because I knew Marsh Williams, their sax player, who died from like pancreatic cancer like a year ago.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
He's coming to Detroit at the Masonic Jack White Theater Sunday, October 5th.
Okay.
That is with the Furs. But he's not. The closest he's coming to me is fucking Ben Salem, which is down above Philly, which is two hours plus away. That's a Psych Furs. I may look at that because that's a Friday show. I bet you Serge will, like a bro, I will say, hey, Serge, Gary Newman's coming. Would you like to meet me for that show? See, I'm a bro like that. I take care of my bros, right? But actually, Stephen, Serge and I are going to, again, if I'm well enough to travel, Serge and I are going to see Steve in Philly in October. Are you going to that? You're going, right? Louis?
I'm going to see them in Detroit.
Right. When's that? Are you October or are you in September?
Sometime in September, yeah.
Late September then. Okay.
Yeah.
Melinda, you're not going, right? Because you don't like going into Chicago.
Not
right?
going. Nope.
All right.
It's too much.
Yeah.
It's just
I know,
overload.
It's expensive too, man. It's so expensive to go to these shows anymore, man. Especially, I looked at going to see the Deftones next month down in Baltimore. $250 for a fucking shitty seat in the back of the arena. I'm like, nah, not gonna happen, man. Not Slayer is doing one of their only 3 or 4 shows this year, 5 or whatever it is, in Hershey, Pennsylvania. It's 30 minutes from my house. Cheapest ticket, lawn ticket, is like $120. I'm like, oh, so let me get this straight. I get to stand back with a bunch of fucking Slayer fans, which is not. I love Slayer, but I know their fan base, and I'm not like we don't probably copacetically like cohabitate. A lot of Trumpers in that shit. So, but you're far away. I'm watching it on a video screen for $200 now. Why do that? That's stupid. So, all right, we're gonna dig into Gary Newman. Intruder, and you want to mute yourself, and I'll be right back. I'm going to start this. I'll be right back.
I could listen to you scream pretty music to my ears. I could listen to it all day if you want me to. I could talk about my world, how you brought about ruin. I could talk about your greed if you want me to. I could look into evil, see a heart just like mine. I could throw away reason if you want me to. I go walk into darkness, find the hole you crawled into. I will be the intruder if you want me to. You can whisper your Lord's prayer and pretend that it matters, and on your wish and just listen. You can hide in the shadows and pretend I won't find you, and on your wish and just listen. I could listen to more lies about promises you kept, where you walk on water like you said you would. I can make you my prisoner, but you a dead man talking when you find the oceans like you said you would. You can beg for God's mercy and pretend that He hates you, but then you wish and just listen. You can drown in your sorrow and pretend you are helpless, but then you wish and just listen. This is always your one life. I won't pretend that it matters, but don't you wish and just listen. This is always your one lone. I won't pretend that I'll miss you, but don't you wish and just listen.
All right. Man, I just love that guy. I love everything he does. So good. What's that?
The Japanese SACD version.
Oh, look at that thing. Holy shit, it looks huge.
It's
Is that like-
a 7-inch size? Yeah.
Oh, it's 7-inch size. All right.
Yeah.
Wow. That's fucking cool. When did you get that? Have you had that for a while?
I've had that since it came out. I ordered it from Japan when it came out.
Damn, man. We're gonna have to talk about that. We'll have to talk about that. That's something I had been thinking I wanted to do, but I thought the best way to get you acclimated to coming on the show would be what we did tonight. You know what I mean? Yeah. Kind of as a group sort of thing. But yeah, I got some thinking to do. I probably maybe overreacted. I was in an extremely vulnerable, extremely fucking volatile mental state. I am going to tell you guys both here and now. I'm going into the ER tomorrow. The abdominal pain that I'm in is just completely not tenable, and it's so abnormal. Like, you know, Mel, you've seen my belly. I don't know if I think I sent you a picture too.
You sent me a picture too, yeah.
But it's so bad the last 4 or 5 weeks. It's you know, my belly button's under my right nipple. It's just so abnormal. I don't know if they're going to be able to figure it out. It doesn't seem to this point that they're going to be. I just got denied at Mayo last week and Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt more for financial stuff, which is, you know, it's absurd. Louis, you worked in the medical industry in the medical system for how long?
Too long.
Too long, exactly. And, you know, for people like me that have chronic conditions, we're kind of fucked. Let's just be honest. In a lot of ways, we're kind of fucked. And I still am going to reach out to Lancome. I have some paperwork I got to get into them up in the NYU, and also back out to Cleveland Clinic where I was at a year and a half ago, and the guy never mentioned they had a dysautonomia clinic out there. But I'm fairly convinced I know what this is. The doctors aren't. I think you'd agree with me, Louis, that sometimes doctors don't know everything. You know, especially when it comes to a complex situation. And sadly, that's what I got going on. So, but I do want to continue doing certain things. It's just I just don't know how much I can do, and I fear making commitments to people because I'm the type of person that always tries to come through on commitments.
Mhm.
And I don't like it when people don't come through on commitments to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I that upsets me when, I'm not dogging Chuck. I understand, but he was, he should have been here tonight. He didn't make the contingency plans to be here, so it is what it is.
No, and if he moved somewhere remote with
He didn't move. He's moving
moving
from out of San Francisco up north, but he knew this was going on for a while. And he didn't, he suddenly, I find out, I'm going up north, and I'm not sure if I'm going to have phone service, but I'll try. But I'm not angry at him at all. I understand it's cool. It would have been nice if he would have gotten back to me today, or in the last couple of hours, but he didn't. So it is what it is. But Chuck's been very cool.
Yeah.
You met Chuck, right? At Nearfest?
Yeah.
Yeah. And actually, no. I guess we never, the weird thing is, Louis, I never have made it. All the places I've traveled for shows, Denver, San Diego, San Francisco, I've never made it to like the Northwest corner, and I've never made it to Detroit. I've never even been in Michigan that I know of, unless I passed through it going to Minnesota. Maybe I did then. I don't think I did, though. I think it was Illinois. Been out to Mel's place, years ago, and we had an interesting dinner. Remember the interesting dinner?
At Rinaldi's?
What was it called?
Rinaldi's?
Yeah, that girl really pissed you off.
What girl?
The chick that was the girl that was Steve, and
she didn't
trying
piss me off.
Trying to use me to get on the bus and everything like that.
Well, yeah, and that happened.
It did. I know it did. I was very aware of what was going on. Trust me. I'm not fucking stupid. It doesn't matter whether I'm well aware if there's option B over here that's more desirable and I'm option A to get to B. I can,
They're going through you,
going through me. I was pretty intuitive to what was going on there. There's another person, Jane.
Jane. Yeah.
Jane, yeah.
God, I wish I knew how to get a hold of Jane and her husband. He was so cool, but I can't remember his name. Do you remember Susan Mullison? Susan Mullison up in Connecticut.
Yes.
Blonde hair, very, follow Steve around everywhere.
Yeah.
She passed away.
Oh.
I don't know what the story was, but she passed away. And Stephanie, we all remember Stephanie, don't we? You know Stephanie, Melanie.
Stephanie, refresh my memory.
The massage therapist?
The physical therapist. Yeah.
Say no more.
Sorry, the massage therapist.
It's all coming back.
Boom.
I once spent like 6 hours with Stephanie, John Comiskey, Romy, and Mori at the Opeth dressing room at a show in Detroit.
I spent the night with Stephanie in a hotel room in Cleveland. If you'll recall, I had all of PT's merch except for the shit that they traveled with the bus over the border with because they didn't want to pay the taxes going out.
I remember because
I drove out to Cleveland.
I was at that show and I drove back with Tracy because there was no
and my
room
kids
for anybody in the van with Tracy.
And
I
my
think
kids
I went with you and I went with Tracy.
Oh, you're right, Maddie and Tristan. That's right. So somehow out of the blue, she finds out I'm going out to Cleveland, and she's like, "I want to go. I want to go." I'm like, "All right." We get out there. I kid you not. we get a B&B somewhere in Cleveland, and you don't want to know what the first words out of her mouth were to
Where?
me. You're not gonna fuck me.
Which
Like,
you were happy with.
which I was overjoyed. I could not believe. She's like, we're not having sex, dude. I'm like, that's cool, because I would never have sex with you. It was so weird. So fucking weird, man. So weird. But all right, man. That was an awesome addition. I'm glad we did this, and we did it under about 3 hours. So
Yeah.
Which is super cool. And Melinda, we've been talking about doing the, you know what we've been talking about for 2
Yeah.
years. Getting
Yeah.
to the Hawkwind one of these days. I would like to do that at some point if I decide not to end things.
Hawkwind? What period of Hawkwind?
Well, we did the early period. We did up.
Okay.
So unfortunately, that's probably your period.
That's my period.
We
yeah.
did up through
80.
levitation, right? I think levitation.
Yeah, so we did up to 1980.
Yeah, 1980. And so we were going to go up to when? 90? Can't remember.
Yeah.
Which still has some good
Yeah.
albums in there. There's still some good
yeah.
stuff.
Oh
but,
yeah,
you know,
Chronicle
all
of the Black Sword, Choose Your Masks. Good albums.
what's the TP
Electric
one?
TP.
Electric TP. Yeah, a lot of
Yeah.
good stuff in there.
Yeah.
So I'd still like to do that. And Louis, you'd be welcome, of course, whatever you want to do.
I wish Lou Fisher was around for that one, so he could tell the story of the show in Philly where the band wound up fighting with each other.
No, that doesn't
no.
shock me. Oh yeah, that doesn't shock me at all. But
I
lot of
think
stuff-
Rock and
a lot of stuff
Calvert
to
wound
do.
up punching each other out after the gig.
well, the thing I'm gonna try to focus some energies on after I get through. Honestly, I am going to the ER today. I'm not going to go tonight because I want neurology people to be there because of what's going on with me. And it's been very bad the last 2.5, 3 weeks since I was down in Philly. But I don't expect I'm going to find out anything more. Well, maybe I will, because I'm going to demand certain things be done, and we'll see what happens. But once I get through that, and I have a
Ophthalmologist.
Thank you, ophthalmologist appointment on Tuesday, assuming I wouldn't be kept in the hospital tomorrow. And we'll kind of see how those things pan out. But you know, and I'll talk to some people. I probably reacted a little rashly there. I probably overreacted a little bit, but I tend to do that. It's just kind of how I am. It's kind of who I am. So, but I've been thinking about it for a while too, because I want to make these commitments, and then I feel like when I'm really, really not well physically, which of course affects me up here, and then that affects my emotions. I get kind of like I went out on Friday night to a show. Didn't think it was going to happen, but I ended up interviewing Kirk Winstein from Down and Crowbar, and most awesome fucking guy ever. Most awesome guy. Went into the show, and some woman blacked out. Went down like a sack of potatoes right in front of me, man. Just boom, down. And I'm like,
that happened to me once. I saw that happen to me. I can't remember some show in Detroit. I can't remember which one. Somebody went face first into the floor.
Yeah, this woman, it turns out, was diabetic, and I guess her sugar was off or whatever. I thought she was wasted. But then I realized she's laying there kind of doing this, and I'm like, guys, get her on her side while I called 911, because everybody was just staring at her. I'm like, hey, get her on her side so she doesn't aspirate, vomit and aspirate. And then they came and checked her out, and she thanked me for calling. And after the show, man, I got home, and I was in so much physical pain in my abdomen, my back, my arms, my legs. And that just when you're in pain like that, man, it takes you to some dark places. So that's where I've been struggling lately. So, but anyway, guys, I do, if I do continue the channel, this is a series I'd love to revisit from time to time.
Absolutely. I was already thinking of what to do for the 3rd episode.
Yeah. So I think that's where we need to talk about that privately, and we'll kind of come up with some ideas, and I'll see what I can do. And Upcoming events though this week that are planned, that are set in stone, that I'm going to honor unless I'm in the hospital, like in the hospital. Thursday night, I've got Logan coming on for 3 of an imperfect pair. How you like that, Louis? Play on words there a little bit. 3 of an imperfect pair. We're doing Mad Season, Temple of the Dog, and Screaming Trees Sweet Oblivion.
Okay.
Trifecta of Seattle grunge, more or less, kind of, sort of. And then and I hit you up about this, so I already know you're not going to watch or be that interested. But Saturday night, myself and Eric Berg from Psychic Vacuum Channel, we're going to do the Gentle Giant catalog. I like them more than you do, apparently.
I love the music. The singing just absolutely turns me off.
It's weird. There's a lot of weirdness in there for sure. But we're going to do that at 10 o'clock on Saturday night, again, assuming that I'm not in deep trouble. Also, I've got that Kirk Winstein video. I'm going to try and drop it this week, which I recorded. I generally do them live, but this was a pre-record. And I've got interviews with, they're not scheduled as yet, they're kind of scheduled, with Harry from Hooded Menace is coming on, I think next week. Might even be Tuesday, or Tuesday or Wednesday. And that, but if I might hold that off till the week after because of the medical stuff. And then I've also got an interview with Matt from Cryptopsy, probably end of the month. And hopefully, Steven Wilson will be joining me soon to talk about the upcoming U.S. tour and the overview album that he put out in March and all that stuff. And speaking of Steven Wilson, last thing, because I'm a fanboy, y'all. Hang on, let me
Really?
find it.
Really?
Well, I could be. I don't know. Do you think?
Well, the website that Mori and I had about the live shows identifies you as a #1 fanboy. Intro.
Fuck you guys. Anyway, this is Produced Like a Pro. Is the
I already saw it.
It's fantastic. It really is.
It's very good. It's very, very good.
It's
I'll
one
have
of
to
the
check
best.
it out.
Yeah, it's one of the best interviews of Steve I've ever seen. And this guy, I don't know his name. What's his name?
Warren Hewart.
Warren. Yeah, he's fucking awesome. And they bro out and nerd out big time on 80s music and all you can think of. Anything that you can think of that's relative to production, because Warren was or is a producer, I believe.
He is, yeah. I actually
got-
belong to the Produce Like a Pro Academy.
Oh, nice. You should. That's a good place to go.
Yeah.
But it's one of the better interviews I've seen where just Steve, I will say now, Steve seems much more relaxed, much more,
Yeah.
what's the word? Just more like we would know him out. Yeah, just like himself, like the fun guy on the album years, or where he cracks jokes. Everybody always, we know because we've known Steve, we met him. I have a lot, right? I've hung out with him a lot, and he's a very cool fucking guy. Like there's no. I know I had my little issue, but it was up here more than anything. There was not anything going on his end. So, but I've really been very appreciative of the fact that we've kind of reconnected. I haven't, just so you know, just show you how boyish I am. Today was the first time I've emailed him since March 15th. All right. So it's not like it's, every week, Steven, we just,
you better not be bothering him. Better not be bothering him.
No, I don't. No, he's busy. He's a married man. He's got 2 kids. No, but he's got 2 kids. He's got a very busy career. But we're in a good place. When we talk, it's like, I can tell he's appreciative of our fan friendship. It's not, I'm not just like that, any 15 million other fans out there.
You're not like the stalker from the old days?
Who is this? Oh, the guy in the Thunderdome? That guy? Oh my God. Dude, that was kind of scary. Steve's face was like, because that guy was a big fucking dude.
Yeah.
That was a scary thing. You know that, Mel?
No. I think I heard a tidbit
Were you
of this a
there?
long time
Louis, were you
ago.
there?
Where?
Louis,
I
were you
think
there?
I was. Yeah, that was on a disco show that I think I was at.
It
Yeah.
was at the it was at the Thunderdome. Are you sure?
No, I wasn't there for that one.
Comiskey was there.
Yeah.
I was there, and Lisa was there because Lisa was with me. I
Yeah.
brought her over there, and because Lisa and I, whatever, Lisa and I sort of hung out. Let's put it that way, and we're just hanging out, and that's kind of when I met Comiskey. And I went back into the green room. I'm just sitting there talking to those guys, and all of a sudden the door just and this fucking guy in a Miami. I remember a Miami Dolphins jersey walks in there. Hey, you're Steven Wilson. You're a fucking man. Come here, bro. And Steven's just like, and this dude was tall. He was like 6'8". He was massive. And Steve's only a little taller than me, maybe 5'9". I'm 5'8", roughly. At least I lie and say I'm 5'8". It's more like 5'7.5". But the people that know, you know what I mean? But yeah, it's he scared the piss out of him, dude. Scared the piss out of him. So that was a little hairy right there when that happened. It was like Andy jumped up, and then he ran out the door and called security, and a bunch of other big dudes came in and kind of escorted him out. And that may have been the beginning of the end to access to Steve easily, you know, without, because they never had like security people with them, but Steve started becoming less and less available unless he knew you. You know what I mean? Like I'll never forget at the and I think you were at this show, maybe, Louis. Were you at the Fear of a Blank? Maybe not. Fear of a Blank Planet at the what's it called? It's called the Ben Electric Factory.
No.
King's X opened for them. And after the show, Wes came out and grabbed me and Trey. I think Tracy might have been with me, some other people. And we're back hanging out. Steve never showed up. It was just Wes, Richard, Colin, Mike Portnoy was there. We were hanging out with Mike Portnoy. It was kind of wild. Yeah, it was pretty trippy. So, but all right. Well, I'll let you guys get to your night because it's, you know,
okay.
I killed your night, Louis, and
the night is 11:30 here. The night is still young.
I was gonna say you're fucking retired. You can sleep all day. You don't have to do whatever you want to do. Mel probably has to get up and go to work tomorrow, I guess. So
no,
I
don't.
I love you guys. It's so cool to reconnect, especially with Louis, because this is long overdue, like years overdue.
Years overdue, yeah.
We're gonna talk about potential future possibilities. And I do want to try to reach out to a bunch of PT people.
Okay.
We can come together.
We'll talk about that during the week.
Yeah, let's do that. So, all right, everybody.
Don't forget Lisa Palma.
Lisa was out in California. Lisa's the one that did the website for the PT Street Team shirts, which I only have one shirt that I kept for myself. I sold all the rest. Can't remember what I gave one or two smalls away to somebody, but you guys still have your PT?
I still have mine.
You fit
still
in
have
your
it.
PT, do you fit in your shirts?
I still do.
Yes.
I barely fit in it. I'm a fat piece of shit right now. But anyway, but yeah, that was a fun time, man. It was a fun time. It would be really great to pull as many of us together to kind of revisit some of those memories and some of our favorite shows. Like I said, maybe like our top 3 favorite albums, and maybe like our favorite show we went to would be a fun topic to kind of pull everybody in on. So we shall work on that. You guys hang on for 1 sec. I'm going to end it here. Everybody, thanks for being here again. Thursday night with Logan at 9 p.m. Eastern. 3 of an Imperfect Pair. Saturday, 10 p.m. Eastern. Gentle Giant deep dive, and some interviews that might be popping up like that. They're going to be, if they happen, they're going to happen quickly, and there won't be much notice. So, all right, hang on, guys.